Me and Eagle went to a fucking, he did a book signing at fucking Barnes & Nobles in White Marsh Avenue. They like read some of his book and shit. Alright.
Is he still in house?
Here we go. You guys ready? Yeah. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Happy Hour Podcast. This is our very special, first ever, dedicated 2-hour episode for our good friend Blood. Everybody may know him at home, on Zoom, or coming in for the Warpigs. This is a special impromptu Warpigs 4, because this son of a bitch told me 2 weeks ago that he's moving to South Carolina. So, we're going to be joined by a couple very special guests. We're being joined by Chris Burns, who was with us for Warpigs 1. Also, Chad Bowman, who was one earlier on in the year, the last year, when we first started the podcast. So he's also going to be here too. We're also going to have a couple other special guests drop through.
I'm not special, because I only got the episode.
Yeah. Actually, what happened right before we started? You walked over to the liquor store to get a bottle of water.
Yeah,
what happened?
We almost had a tragedy. I come out, I'm being careful, I'm wearing my mask.
That was a tribute for Socrates.
Yeah, I'm going to tribute to the blood that was that tribute. I'm waiting across the street to come back to the school. Now keep in mind I have degenerative discs in my fucking neck and the side of my shoulder on the left side. As I'm waiting, some motherfucker in an SUV backs into me. Thank God it was on the right side.
Is that what it just drove by?
It probably was. And then I look at him, I was going to sell it so I could sue him, but he looks at me, he gives me a thumbs up, and he drives away.
You know, that may have been one of Bruno's cronies.
That's what
Bruno was probably like, you go out there to that motherfucker and you run him down.
You know what saved me?
Take him out of the picture.
Blood finally gave me back my Satan mask from Halloween, like 2016. So the power of the devil saved me today.
I think there was a couple of kids that were going into the roller skating rink next door were yelling, "He's hardcore! He's hardcore!"
Somebody probably, the guy was probably like, "Oh shit, that's the high priest."
Yeah.
He'll take that call.
Well, see, Psycho, here's the thing. If you would have got ran down by that car, we still would have had to start at 2 o'clock. Just, you know how it works. Show goes on. And when Hart falls from the top of the ring, show goes on. That's just the way it works. Like, you know how wrestling is.
No time for 911.
Yeah.
You could have got me on Zoom from the hospital.
Speaking of the skating rink, that's a good story. Fucking, because we're here. Fucking, I was doing a promo. I think, what the fuck was it? It was a lot. Basically, I was supposed to be lost.
Oh yeah.
But one of the scenes was I went in full gimmick. I went to the skate land and I chased all the kids out, and they're screaming, running out, and fucking. So I'm chasing them down around the fucking parking lot. And like, of course, Skateland got pissed, so like, you can't fucking do that.
You had that fork?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Did you chase the kids out, or did you ask the kids?
Yeah, was that a shoot?
Yeah, was that a shoot? Butch is in there and throwing around skates. Ah!
No wonder Skateland was pissed.
Did the police show up?
We cut the camera and the kids were like playing along. We're like, yeah. Like, afterwards, of course.
Well, if you remember, there was that one gimmick we did. We had a show at Bluefin's, and Bluefin was one of our favorite bars. And I remember me and you used to always get together, and we would always have the most creative promos that we would ever think of.
Oh,
and you sat there and you were like, "Ray, I got this idea." So we sat down, and the whole idea.
Chuck E. Cheese's.
Yeah, was when I first started the Mr. Happy Hour character, and I had won the contract from the double ring ladder match. I was the #1 contender. So you're like, all right, great, look, here's what we're going to do. We're doing a show at Bluefin's, and what we're going to do is you're going to be drunk, and you're going to run from your house
to here.
From here.
The first promo was here.
Yeah, so you're going to run from here to Bluefin's. So we leave, and like, mind you, I'm drunk the whole time. So what we do is we made it to Chuck E. Cheese over in Essex. The only thing that was left in that shopping center, Chuck E. Cheese, which is now since gone. So we get there, and we're like, hey, we're wrestlers are just filming this thing. Do you mind if I hop up on the stage? So the little animatronic characters that like.
That was all for. He's like, yeah, do it.
So I go up there and like the dog's singing, the bird's moving, and I'm up there stomping my feet, dancing around with it, and all that. So we do that. I end up over at the shit plant.
You did the shit
right
plant.
At the shit plant. So I'm outside and I'm like, this isn't Bluefin's.
I remember you looked at the fucking the sign, the address of the sign, and you're like, almost there, almost there. And you're like, hold a beer in the hand.
Yeah. Was there any other locations?
Royal Farm.
Royal Farm,
Oh,
so
Royal
that was there. there.
Because I was there.
He was buying burger cookies for the first sponsor.
When they were tearing down Memorial Stadium, me and my buddy went there and snuck in and got drunk one night. It was like halfway torn down, and I was like, dude, Bobby, I should cut a promo. And he had his video camera in the car, so I brought it out, and I cut the promo in Memorial Stadium. Like, we're not even supposed to be there, like the big sizes, nobody, trespassers, prosecuted. So like, I'm cutting the promo in Memorial Stadium. I'm like saying, best promo I ever cut. I'm saying like all this esoteric shit. I'm like quoting Nietzsche. I'm saying all this crazy shit. And then we come out. I'm like so excited. I'm like, oh, let's go and watch it. And he forgot to hit power on the camera. I was like, you son of a bitch.
I can totally tell how you guys did this because you named like every place in route. The Bluefin, the Wolf Arms, the Chuck E. Cheese.
It's the ending scene because we cut all this together, so it's like little flashes of things happening. So it made it more funny when you watched it back. Like, it just and then next thing.
Naturally from there, we drove from.
Yeah, we were fat. We weren't running.
Yeah, we were running.
So the last
You were fat?
was me at Warpig, and I'm sitting at one of the.
They were closed.
Yeah, they were closed.
Yeah.
And I'm drinking beer, and
Was the toilet still in the wall at this point?
It may not. It may not.
so.
But we're not gonna discuss any of that because I don't know who would do such a dastardly thing.
We were just standing there when that bench came floating down the river.
Yeah, but no, I remember I gave you the line because
Yeah.
a fucking middle school teacher I used to have, it was me and Eagle and Monster, and we would, be starting shit, and she'd just stop and be like, I'll wait.
Yeah.
She'd stand there. So I was like, all right, I had my freaking ex-wife yell something like, it's not till last week.
Yeah, she's like, it's not until next week, you idiot. So I zoom in,
Yeah,
I go
yeah,
on the
yeah.
camera like that, and I'm drinking beer, and I'm like, oh, wait. And that was it. And then
Then
it's
they
like,
cut
EWA, blah, blah.
Did you play the Van Helm song in the back? I'll wait till love comes out.
But no, so yeah, I mean, we had a lot of fun. And then also, I don't think I was here for it, but we did right here at the school when Burger Cookies was a sponsor. They did a promo with you.
The
where
commercial.
Burger Cookies were hanging above the ring.
That commercial is still on the Burger Cookies website.
Nice.
I miss Burger Cookies. I look forward to coming to shows just so I can get Burger Cookies.
Oh, you can buy them at the store.
If you go on the Burger Cookies website and click on sponsors,
Yeah, but they were
our
free.
commercial is on there.
Really?
We did a ladder match for Burger Cookies.
Nice.
Thing with burger cookies at the store, they're good, but they're usually about like a month old.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But usually when Burger Cookies was sponsored EWA,
We get fresh. Yeah.
oh yeah, we got a fresh batch.
I
And they were
think
good,
that
by the way.
I think that me and Dino had to do a spot for them too for MCW.
Yeah.
And I never had them before. I had only heard of them. And I took a bite out of one of them, and honestly, I wasn't a fan. And they were like, "Well, you got to do a promo putting them over." And like I had to eat one during the promo, where I'm eating. Now I know how actors and actresses.
Yeah, you're working, bro.
Yeah. We had out-of-state guys. You know like the whole joke of the hot dog payout?
Yeah.
We actually had out-of-state guys come in to get paid with Burger Cookies.
Oh, Hijinks loved Burger Cookies.
Oh, yeah,
Hijinks was all about the Burger Cookies. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh, hey! Actually, one of our guests, another surprise for Blood, just showed up, and that being the legendary Bob Starr.
Bob Starr,
Who you saw here on one of our first episodes before. So Bob Starr will be joining us momentarily.
Shocker, he's late.
Little work.
You're next up, Bob. We're gonna fucking match.
So we thought of an interesting way we're going to do it, and Blood mentioned it, is that what I'm going to do is I'm going to say a name to Blood,
Oh shit. We're
and
doing that
Blood's
already.
going to tell me how he hurt them.
It's the right thing I've done.
If you say my name, we'll go for like an hour.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to start off with Chad.
Okay.
And how did you hurt Chad?
Well, I think I've only worked you once.
Didn't
I can mention how I heard it because I was reffing. He had me in a chin lock and Chad threw up all over the ring.
But that's it. I didn't do that.
Alcohol did that. So.
I didn't hurt him
I
that
wouldn't
way.
necessarily say that he hurt me. that whole entire
Life hurt.
life was killing me, and I blew that spot.
Well, no, but I did. We had a whole table full of weapons.
Yeah.
Oh no!
So
all right, you did hurt me.
I threw him on this table full of weapons, and he landed head first on the Clippers for the hair versus hair match.
Yeah, I do remember that now. I think I got a nick. Didn't I get like some? I got
You did,
like
you
a
got
little-
juice.
Yeah, I got a little colored hardware.
He landed head first onto the electric clippers, which we never used, I don't think. It was like a spin the wheel, make the deal gimmick.
For fear of alcohol poisoning.
Yeah.
I'm having PTSD today because Bloodborne is chair and nails. And
Oh yeah, we had a hardcore match here one time, and he had the chair nails. I'm like, he's telling me to throw him headfirst into it, but Blood's also drunk right now, so I don't trust this. And I think I've said this before on former Warpigs episodes that one of the most terrifying things that you could ever do is to work Blood when he's intoxicated, and that's exactly what happened. Blood
Pretty
came
fine.
out-
I'm scared.
We're about Socrates when he's sober.
We did a promo.
But did you die?
We did a promo, and Blood was so drunk he came out with his apron on, and he had the beer in his apron. He was so drunk he forgot the beer was in the apron, and they got mad because the beer spilled on the apron, and it was my fault. And
The thing about wrestling Blood in general is that Blood will collect receipt on anything that you did in the past. It could have been last night. It could have been 10 years from now.
Oh, yeah.
You completely forgot it.
you know, and
But he's collecting.
this story's been up before. That scar on Blood's head is from me.
Yeah.
And when that happened, I was like, he's gonna fucking kill me. Like,
Someday.
Yeah, someday he's gonna happen. And Blood's such a nice guy. For those of you who don't know Blood, he's such a great guy. And I'll never forget it, and Bob will know exactly what I'm talking about. We're sitting there and we're at John Rambo's school. And there's that beam that just runs across the top of the school.
We're gonna put Ray's name out
Yeah,
here.
yeah. and so I'm sitting there, I'm laying there, and this is one of many times when Blood's hurt me because I've worked Blood more than anybody else in my entire career. So
This might have been the worst though.
yeah. So I sit there and I look at Blood, and Blood's just looking down on me, and I see just the expression on his face just instantly change.
Joy.
That's when you know you're fucked.
Yeah, and then Blood jumps out, grabs the beam,
And I lift
swings
myself
his
up.
legs,
Pull up.
and then just lets go. And his whole body, at the time, Blood's probably about like 300 pounds.
Yeah, yeah.
His whole body just goes down on me, and you just hear me stop breathing for about 3 seconds.
Were you wearing the furry pants that night?
I was.
Oh, so you're like a giant white swinging monkey.
Yes.
Yeah, and we talked about it the last show that we had too, is that also you didn't talk me out of wanting to do that back body drop into the back of the U-Haul, which I almost died doing, and that was one of many. What's
Was that
the line?
the car lot?
That was the car.
Yes, that was
I
the car.
remember.
You were riffing. You were
Yeah,
riffing.
I bailed the last second. I was like, I am not doing this.
All I remember is thinking, are you fucking kidding me?
The chair and nails is the reason I have this hole in my arm.
Like, he's dead.
I came home from that show, the Steel Chair Death Match, and my dad was there. And you know, he's a fucking war veteran. I asked him, I was like, hey, I got a couple cuts on my back from wrestling, man. You mind put some alcohol in for me? He's like, yeah, no problem. So I take my shirt off, he just looks at me, and he has like this look of shock and horror. Who did this to you? And I'm just like, blood.
And the thing is,
Bob was great. Sorry to carry you up. Bob was the ref. Remember the fucking? It wasn't that match, but it was the Blood versus Gold Thumb.
oh yeah, was that the one when you?
And I made Bob pin you. Yeah.
That was the car lot too, right?
Yeah, it was car.
No.
Or was it the
one
Bob?
when you hit me? That was Country Ridge Lane. Because that was the one when you hit me with the chair and drug me around the ring.
Oh no, Bob ref that one too, but I'm
Oh
talking
no,
about.
yeah,
I'm talking about the sword
that's
fight.
fighting. That's
The
why
sword
I came out
fight,
with
yeah.
fighting, yeah.
And I fucking drilled you in the balls with a power drill.
Yeah.
All I could think was, what the fuck did I get myself?
You know what else you had that reaction to? You were the only one that was there out of the people here the night in Harper's Ferry when I almost bled to death. And I'm in the bathroom cleaning myself off after the match. Bob just walks in and looks at me, shakes his head, and walks right back out. But I still made it to the bachelor party.
All I wanted to do was stay the fuck away from my outfit. I had to work the next day, or wrestle the next day, whatever. And I didn't want to fucking have to go scrub that shit.
And
The
now
AIDS
what?
out there, you know.
What about Bob? Is there anything?
I thought he was gonna fucking bleed to death.
Well, you thought. I felt bad. The reason I felt bad was because, you know.
You didn't feel bad.
Well, if you're gonna die, you might as well die in the ring. I'm like Gigi Allen, what are you gonna do? When I'm in a Rambo show in front of like 110 people, my mom's in the crowd, like, it's not my time. It's not my time. And then I played Word Bush's mouth.
And I looked down at John Rambo, and he's standing at ringside, and I'm going, they're gonna kill this kid. He's fucking, the cam's
this up, they're gonna
Well, I thought Rambo was pissed because the next show I came there and Butch is like, "Hey, John wants to talk to you." I'm like, "Oh, he's gonna fucking go off on me." I walk in and I'm like, "Hey, John, what's up?" He's like, "Socrates, why did you fucking powder?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "When you started fucking bleeding like that, I told you to powder." I was like, "To be honest, John, I didn't even hear you say it. I was kind of busy trying to not bleed to death."
Yeah.
Well, that's not that. Awkward broke his ring, and then he was super pissed about that. He hit the ropes and the rope broke. It's like
Before the show.
No, what the rope? It was like one of the.
I'm on the board.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "I've been in this business 20 fucking years. You don't trust my fucking ring?" Like, obviously not. It just broke.
Now, Blood and Bob, is there anything that you ever did Bob where you hurt Bob?
Did we? When did we?
Could have been any
There's been stuff
You
Bob.
and Lucifer worked Bob and Carnage, and then with Les
We
Brunier show.
worked a lot of times, but well, there's been stuff Bob bitched about. But I made Bob bump, not in the center, over here.
Oh, you motherfucker.
Hey, what was funny is
Hey, just making Bob bump is enough.
you were saying earlier, it was funny because you look at him and he kind of smiles at you.
Yeah.
Like, because when he, like, you don't know if he's slipping with potato or it's just blood, but it's kind of like he hit me with something and you look at him and he's smiling and thinking, well, he's not pissed.
What's he gonna do?
God damn, that fucking hurt. But it was always a good time. And I mean, Christ, when did you first learn?
99 with training.
So where were we at? We were still doing Teamsters.
You were break
No, we were Shore West at that point.
Oh, you sure was.
We were already at Sure.
Yeah,
West.
yeah,
There
yeah.
was another
See, I
guy.
didn't know that.
But I remember-
You started the same year I did? You started in 99?
Yeah, he started like 3 months after me.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
shit, so
I'm pretty sure 99 was it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
99
because it was
when I
down
started.
at the gym.
So my first match was 2000.
Yeah, I remember it was at the gym.
But I remember Bob would always like make fun because I get a look in my eye when I was training and thinking of something. He's like, and Bob would just look at me like, "No, whatever you're thinking of, don't do it."
It's a work, kid.
Were you there the night when Blood, he splashed somebody in the corner at the school and he ran head first
Oh no, that was Monster.
and split himself open?
No, it wasn't. I was. You guys, who was there? I
That wasn't me. That was Tutska.
What's
Monster.
Yeah, what was
That
that?
was Johnny
Was
Monster.
that right with the concussion?
He fucking stinger splashed. I think it was what the fuck's his name? The Indian guy. I think.
Oh, the big guy.
Nick
Nick Stricker. So he splashed him
Yeah.
and fucking he started the stinger splashing like really fucking high and fucking just knocked himself out. The fucking
I felt bad because you know how the ring was like right against the wall there? I gave Monster a drop toe hold and he slid head first into the wall. And I was like, oh.
That poor fucking kid. You guys beat him to death. I kind of quartered his system.
Shocking, Bob.
Things happened at that school. I'm not going to go any further.
A lot of things happened.
I can't imagine if Blood was going to be was not going to be a hardcore wrestler, considering all the stories so far involving everything. Nothing said anything about a ring.
No.
You were beat to the up at a Rolls Farm or a Jimmy Byron or a car dealership.
I mean, somewhere, and you got in a ring with this big fucking fork and would not do it to me. And I'm sitting there, John, well, you got to start this match, and he's got this look in his face. I'm thinking,
Because you forgot the spot. I remember we talking about. Because like I was like, you're supposed to look. I was like trying to tell you, look over at him. You're not supposed to be looking at me.
it's hard not to with a big fucking fork in your hand. I'm like, Jesus Christ. But it was. That's what you know what I'm saying. And we talked last time I was on the show. It's like, you know, all this interpromotional bullshit that went on over the years and stuff. But we always had fun.
Yeah.
You know, I remember we did some shows for Jim at what was the name of that fucking place? Was it Arbutus that we were at?
Oh yeah, we
I love that shit. We don't have any film of that. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think
That's a good venue too. That's a nice building.
Yeah.
Isn't that where they do the record? They do the record collection. A record
Yes.
collection.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah.
And we had the weird underage models.
Yes.
Steve Diaz, Alex Lee, the bottom of the wall.
It doesn't fit me. Like, why do they have to walk out? So, anyways,
Who was getting laid at that deal? Because I couldn't.
apparently Ellsworth
It wasn't you?
one of them.
That wasn't me. Because I knew they were underage, bro. I did a lot of shit, but I'm
No, I'm saying shot the Ellsworth up there.
Ellsworth is a pimp. I'm not going to go on record. Ellsworth is a pimp.
Now, what about Burns?
How can you call yourself a player, Christopher Adonis, when Ellsworth steals your wife?
Oh! And of course, I'm going to go ahead and say we are live on Facebook Live right now. So if anybody wants to comment, say anything, if James Ellsworth would like to tell Socrates to go fuck himself.
I was complimenting old word.
Oh yeah.
I still got Tristan on the promo pictures. We got in the stack of
Yes,
the
yes.
Did we tell that story?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
I actually can't remember doing anything to Bird. Bird, do you remember anything I did to you?
We almost killed Cannibal.
Not
He was in the match.
intentionally, but you did put off an ex-girlfriend. Did have an ex-girlfriend called off for me.
Yeah, well, I had a couple of
But
them.
you didn't necessarily do that yourself.
Yeah.
You had an ex-girlfriend pawned off on you?
No, I
Two of my exes went to him. Yeah.
Just one.
So you didn't really just one?
Yeah, just one.
What the fuck?
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Not his wife.
I know the one for sure. Like, I remember the one for sure, but I don't know who the other one was.
Definitely Kelly.
Kelly.
Kelly, yes. I don't know if you're thinking.
No, I wasn't thinking Mary.
Yeah.
That was Jim. Actually, Jim. No, that's what I was thinking of. Jim did Mary and Kelly. So
So so really, can that be how you hurt
I'm
Awkward?
innocent.
That's the receipt that he'd be collecting.
You don't know, it's quite an incestuous business for except for me, I'm just banging thoughts on the side.
Dude, let me tell you something. That school in Essex can talk.
it probably could.
If it could be swabbed for DNA.
It's got kids. Well, I'm sure this school's got kids.
I felt bad for Lou the ref when he was living there and had to sleep on that couch.
The things that happened in the same room when he was drunk on that couch, he has no idea. But there was children made in that school. I was innocent on that one too.
I walked in with Tim and Boss Hog, so.
Can you pretty much say there were a lot of children?
We called him also. I don't remember her
Also, there
real
were a lot
name.
of children murdered in that school.
I know, right?
No, we never had Benoit's against Stranger.
He said he walked in with Tim and Boss Hog, and I said, Boss Hog? He said, yeah, that's what we call
I don't
her.
remember her real name.
That's what we call her.
When Blood started training, he was taking this big black chick named, what was it, Sequisha?
The purple hair.
Was it? Blood.
The chick came with the purple hair.
Let's cut that part out.
I'm sorry, but we're live.
You remember?
I know you.
You remember Lana came in, and we were gonna do pictures with her, and she wanted to do them with the curtain.
Was that the one who was doing or dating your thunder?
No. This was the one. What the hell did they call her?
London?
I wasn't. I
No,
was
not London. No, not ISIS. It was Lana. I'm trying to think of who the hell she managed.
Probably you.
No.
At some point.
I don't remember, but the thing was, she wanted the blue curtains wrapped around her and nothing else on. And that black chick was there because I had pictures of her.
I look at those photos every day.
I don't even have pictures.
We're standing at ringside. Little Dan was there too. We're standing at ringside. We're taking pictures, right? And the black chick looks down at us and smiles and winks, and like she's positioning the fucking gimmick on Lana. Lana's so fucking stupid. She's just standing there. This chick pulled out her inverted nipple and her crotch is hanging out the bottom. I'm like, this is fucking great. I bet you, I know Dan. He's probably still got them fucking pictures. I got them all.
Oh, we know you do.
Yeah.
And you know exactly where to find them.
No, hold on. Now that was the next thing was. Were any of you, I know you weren't there, but were any of you guys here tonight that Tim decided he wanted to do promo pictures at the school? He was, boss, they gotta have
Did he cut himself?
yeah, they gotta have blood in them.
Oh, yeah, I was there, yeah.
And he takes a fucking
Fucking
five
fine
cutter out of the fucking thing, pulls the cardboard gimmick off, and just goes, and it just goes, boom! I went, holy shit! Fucking one of the kids,
He went to the fucking boom.
yeah, we fucking sent one of the kids across the street to get the phone fight.
Yeah, that was the Middleborough Fire Department.
And the fucking guys walked in and went, what the fuck? And I'm like, I don't know, but don't let him die. His wife will kill him.
At least I was in a match when I did it.
And the best part was, he never did get any fucking promo pictures.
No.
The whole fucking school was covered in blood. And then the next day, everybody, I have pictures of John Cole, Buckchild, right? In his Sterling gray guy uniform, because he worked there with us too at one time. He's got fucking blue plastic gloves on, and he's fucking scrubbing the shit out of him. I'm like, what are you doing? He's fucking boss, God damn it, the boss did this shit.
Now we got to everybody here. What other people can you stands out in your mind that you've hurt? that they either intentionally or unintentionally.
I've never unintentionally hurt anybody. I'm a professional, damn it.
To be fair, in all honesty, what fuckers, and I know there's a couple of them out there, did you intentionally need to, and watch, and you end up hurting yourself doing it.
Ooh.
Because you want to get them, but you go to do something and end up fucking
I don't
yourself.
think I've ever done that.
You live by the potato, you die by the potato.
Now, I'll say this. We didn't get along when he was alive, but he was a good guy. I want to disrespect Derek Wayne.
There.
He pissed me off so bad.
Was somebody sent on you on your face?
Yes, he did Swanton. Like he did Springport Swanton, and he was fucking he was booking at the time for MWF, and he wouldn't fucking book me.
Yeah, he stopped booking you anyway.
Yeah, he stopped booking me.
And I was the one who got
So
him in
like,
school.
as he does the Swanton, fucking he elbows me in the face and in the nuts at the same time. And I'm like, all right, it happens. He fucked up, but he didn't say shit to me in the back, and he knew he did it. And fucking, I was so pissed. So I worked him the next show, and I did. I'm a big fat guy, and I called it spin kick. I called it.
What's
Fuck out of here.
Come on, make it
They
live. God rest his soul.
So,
It's the first person I thought of.
I jumped up like a fucking leg lariat, and I took this leg, and I fucking spun it around, and I kicked him right in the face. And I broke his jaw. He actually had the jaw wire shut from that, and was drinking out a straw for like a month, I think.
And everybody on Facebook Live, they were marking up for Bob Starr. Everybody's like, is that Bob Starr? Yes, it is. Bob Starr.
That's my fiance.
She said her heart is with Bob
Yes.
Starr.
I'm bringing you to it. I'm bringing you right now, Jessica.
As soon as Bob came in the feed, the viewership jumped like 85, and it was all his ass.
I don't know. No.
Pictures of him.
Yeah. So they're all like, oh God, I hope he doesn't say anything about me. Oh God.
I'm up to like 2.5 terabytes. I'm doing pretty good.
Of what? What is that?
Random pictures.
About 2,800 girls and a whole lot of pictures.
Of course, big shout out to Derek Frazier. He's also tuning in live watching.
Wow.
Derek! Shout out to Derek Frazier.
Have I ever heard Derek? I don't think I've ever heard Derek. Derek hurt me a lot.
Oh, yeah, Derek. That package fucking pile driver. Oh, man. Dude, he fucking dropped me on my
He
head.
took Jim out. He took Jim out
Who
of
was
business.
that? I can't think of his name. The guy that used to work at EWA. He told you, Ray, he didn't want to work Blood because Blood couldn't do anything with him. He was like a co-leader type guy.
What is that?
DB Craft.
Yeah, DB.
I was repping that match.
Yeah.
And Blood, it was very artful how you did it. Like, you didn't just come out and shoot him. You worked the match, and then when you got the opportunity, you clotheslined him so fucking hard, his head just snapped back. And I felt bad. I checked, I was like, dude, are you okay? He just looks up at me, and his eyes were somewhere else. I was like, take it over.
Did that kid just?
How can you not do anything with me? What the fuck?
Well, then, see, the thing is I don't think he understood that Blood's my longest friend in the wrestling business. Blood started in 99, I started in 99. I've been on the road more with this guy. I literally cried for an hour and a half when I realized when he told me he was moving to South Carolina.
He doesn't cry
And
that
I'm
much.
keeping Texas, as close as we are. And so he sits there, and unbeknownst to him how close we are, he's like, oh, you're putting me against Blood. I don't really think I could do much with Blood. And while he's telling me that, I'm messaging Blood. Like, hey, do you believe this motherfucker? I'm like,
Guy's
hey,
talking shit.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not telling you to do anything, but I'm making you aware of the situation.
And he never knew about that. Well, he probably does now. But fucking so like before he worked, of course he has no idea. So he's like, oh yeah, I'm excited about working here, bro. You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, you motherfucker.
I almost felt bad for him.
Well, there was a time me and you went out. We were drinking. And we went out. What was it? We went to the green room. We were drinking. We were shooting pool, and we came up with this game where every time
Oh, the
one of
shot
us-
pool, yeah.
shot for shot pool. And pretty much what it would be is every ball we would make, you would get your choice of either chopping the other or forearming the other to the back. You're talking about that was the worst ass kicking I've had in the business. Not in the business.
Let me see if I can get shot by 27 strippers like made my birthday.
Yeah.
Now in the story, you can relate to something else. Remember the old story about the road warriors and all like that?
Don't tell him. Speak up. Motherfucker.
Hard capper,
They
brother.
went to the airport bar and they fucking do the finish on Vince in the fucking.
Yeah, was it the Safari Club?
Everybody's finished one night?
Yeah, but
The road warriors.
Vince said, yeah, he was like, yeah, Bob, you know, and he was talking about how bad he was. Remember that whole spiel about he wouldn't tell anybody to do anything he wouldn't do.
Right.
And he was taking everybody's finish, and everybody's finish was lame. And then Hawk was like, ah!
And watched it.
Yeah, and then, yeah.
You know, Bret Hart does the thing with Jim Hart and they're all laughing.
Yeah,
and
that-
joking around, and then fucking Hawk's like, alright, watch it. And it's funny because it was, I believe it was the same night that Hawk drew the picture of Dawn. And then they left that night. They did that to Vince and then left and went to Japan. And when he came back, Matt was there. And Hawk's like, you motherfucker.
Well, I remember the bump that Vince took. It was not good.
On his fucking head.
Dude, he, like, you know how Vince is not in a good bumper to begin with. And, like, he literally went, like, completely to his side and just, like, head first. And everybody was like, nobody knew.
I just wish there was fucking cell phones back then so there could be a
Oh,
video.
God.
Oh shit, monster.
Johnny Monster is here.
We've now got 4 of the 5 Warpigs in the last 5.
And here's the thing, also, not only we just went through the whole thing of how has blood hurt you in your career. And I'm pretty sure Johnny Monster, once he gets up here, he has a fun story. But the whole thing is with blood, I also look at it as how has blood hurt you outside the ring? How has it hurt me outside the ring at the bar? There was a night, I think it was New Year's one year, and you sat there and you had your fucking fireball paper with you.
Oh.
And I'm just sitting there, and we're drinking, blah, 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 you know. I turn around and he fucking fireballs me, singes every fucking thing. And he's sitting there, and I'm like, oh, fuck, blood, what the hell? And he's laughing so hard. Like, blood is just dying, fucking laughing. And I'm just like, I just saw Christ. Like, I don't understand. Like, you know, what is this? So, you know, probably.
With the roll farm, the Chuck E. Cheese.
The viewership just jumped as we got thrown up some superstar Johnny Monster.
And Johnny Monster, say hi to everybody watching at home. We are live on Facebook Live.
Monster appreciate it. They thought it happened to me. Like you splashed somebody in Brainbusters and fucking knocked yourself out.
Yes! I knew it! I was like, wait, did I drink too many beers already?
I really thought that was you.
You were thinking about how blood hurt people outside the ring, right? Yeah. We were at Luna's for New Year's Eve. Me and Monster were standing outside. I'm smoking a cigarette. Blood comes, Monster's drunk as shit. Monster's about to puke, but he can't puke. So Blood comes out. Monster just looks at Blood and goes, blood, punch me in the stomach. I'm like, what? So he goes, blood, punch me in the stomach. So, blood obliged, and Monster puked.
Without even slowing
And then
down.
he started drinking again.
So it was a win-win situation for all of us. Without slowing down, dude just backs it up. The feet almost left the ground.
And you sold it like a champ. You had no choice.
And I don't know how many times we've been, and you can probably contest to this, I know Psycho can, Awkward can, that we would be somewhere, and blood would just get so fucking offended about the littlest thing. We were at, and we brought this up in one break, we were at Davey Hammond's wedding, and a guy had a tie tied around his head, and blood was like, oh, that motherfucker, I'm gonna fucking kill that guy. And I'm like, what? Why? Like, you was so mad. Look at the way that fucking tie's tied around his fucking head. I'm gonna fuck him up. And I'm like, what? No. Mind you, the same night, he jumps on top of I had to have Jess drive, so Jess is driving. So Blood jumps on top of the car with a 30-pack of beer, and it's shaking it in the air like they gave this to us, right? Where are you going? And Jess literally it was like a movie, she had to kind of and Blood
They
fell
did
off
a video.
the car.
Ray's like, drive away, like fucking Terminator. Just keep driving. Just keep driving.
Me and Blood are coming back. What is that strip club downtown? Fantasies. We're talking fantasies.
What's up?
Oh, not fantasies. What's the one?
Hustler?
No, not Hustler. It's like,
There's a lot of them
That's
downtown.
Mill Street. Because you gotta drive like through a bunch of woods to get back. So Blood's drunk as shit, we're coming back. Some crackheads on the side of the road. And the guy runs across the road, Blood just narrowly misses hitting him. And we're still driving, Blood just looks at me very calmly and says, second piece. If I would have hit that guy, we'd have kept going, and we would have never spoken again.
And I don't know if we brought this up before, but this was later on in time, so we might not have. The cage match that you had with Zulu. And
you brought that up the first night.
Okay, when you just kept elbow dropping over and over again because you forgot the spot. Because
Well, somebody
Berg
had to
stop
stop me.
it. Yeah, stop it. So I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, Berg forgot a spot. And I'm like, Blood's just going to keep elbow dropping that guy until he's dead. And we're on like the 6th elbow drop off the top rope. And he never made that noise again afterwards. So you heard him up there like
He has Tourette's. He sounded like Kirk. But he didn't after that.
You cured it.
Did you work Buck Ray Dudley too?
Well, it reminds me of a story I was watching. There was a special in
Fireball
Crownsville
did too,
Hospital.
actually.
And there was a guy that kept escaping from Crownsville Hospital. And he said he kept escaping, and there was one time he escaped, and he ran across the field, and there was a big power grid there. And he ran across, and he ran into the power grid, and he fucking got electrocuted. And he lived. He lived. They found his shoes, like, still stuck on the power grid. But he never had to go back to Crownsville ever again because he cured it. And I'm like, well, I mean, if that's what it took every night when I would have drank, I would just want to put my nuts on the power grid and hey, I'm sober.
You know what that guy's favorite Metallica song was? Ride the Lake.
Who's gonna drive Blood to Crownsville?
You know what's fucked up? Is all these guys, well, you didn't come in first, but these guys, they were all young, innocent fucks when I met them. Now looking with the wrestling,
It's his fault. He started the shit.
He corrupted us.
they all came into the school nice with smiles and yes sir and no sir.
And you know where it all started? The fucking pit beef. We did the fire hall. The bull and oyster room.
Oh, the Bull and Oyster
We did the
Roast.
bull and oyster
Oh,
room.
God.
And that ruined everybody.
If that was 1995, that was my first DWI.
No, this was
This one goes on.
It was like 2001, I believe. But when the fire right across the fire hall right across the street, we did a fucking bull and oyster roast. But nobody showed up except us.
Yes, that was for Tim's father's birthday, wasn't it?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, some kind of because then the stripper shows up, his father won't let the girl dance for him because
Yeah,
wife's
yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
So Tim goes, "Hey boss, I paid a lot of money. Come over here." Hey, Don was fucking furious. What the hell am I supposed to do here?
Maybe it's Sam, I think, was the worst.
Yeah.
Maybe it's him.
He
We
went over-
found him the next morning.
He was the next morning. He was in the parking lot, still in his car.
No, he was on his
On the hood. On the
car
hood. Yeah.
with Johnny Monster's giant jug of vodka and orange juice.
And of course, Dean Ace Livingston. if you're
Yeah,
on the
he'll-
shows out, too.
God, the shit that happened at that school.
Yeah.
And I mean, this one's no different. I'm positive of it because MCW school's no different.
Not a lot happened at the school, though. I feel like a lot more happened at the bars.
After school.
Yeah.
Oh no, bro! There's a lot of shit that happened in the
Oh, yeah.
school.
Especially Brainbuster.
Here's the thing with the school, with this school, what we used to do is we would have Joe Hamilton would give us Friday night shows, not because we wanted to wrestle or not because we needed to get better, because we knew we were going to Bluefins afterwards.
We just shoot it with you all the time. It's like, hey, we want to go to Legs. There's a show. Brainbuster's doing a show. You use that excuse to go to Legs afterwards.
All right, so
Yeah.
It was like right up the street.
Yeah, and then we brought this up the first Warpig, but at midnight or whatever, they'd open up and become twice as big.
Oh, yeah.
Like smoke would happen, mirrors would
It's
open.
like one big mirror wall.
It was a fucking Star Wars strip.
Well, I'll tell you a story.
I've wrestled in Martinsburg at that armory 100
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and never been to that place.
Really?
We actually walked because I was with Debbie for all of you.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I'd say you could come with us.
These fuckers are going, let's go to the titty bar. I'm like, you guys are dicks.
I always got Tracy Smothers to go.
Yeah.
Tracy Smothers.
We actually
was a great guy.
we actually did a show there for Samu, remember? When I managed you and you were Carnage?
Yeah.
And I was the heel, so I came out, and then I'm cutting promos with the fans, like, you people are disgusting, we can do children in a strip club. And there was like this real cute little, like, 8-year-old girl in front of me, I'm like, look at her, 10 years from now, she's gonna be working here.
That's right. Fucking West Virginia, those shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They were hot.
They were hot.
Yeah. And it's also the kind of thing I'm sure all of you guys can attest. And, you know, with me, and the whole reason why I rushed the Warpigs forward, was, you know, and I'm sure once you found out, you know, when Blood said he was leaving from South Carolina, I was very upset. I was like, oh man, you see Blood? Yeah, I did. My wife was like, you made my husband die. But see, here's the thing: is that Blood's one of my.
Joe's like, I'll be back.
No, see,
It was like tribute episode.
not only that, but in the wrestling business in general. I've been in the ring.
Yeah. They're doing TV shows and everything.
Let the guy get down there.
I've been in the ring with Blood more than anybody else. And I've also seen more sets of tits with him than anybody else I know. Because Blood would be like, hey, Ray, there's a midget stripper at this bar. We're going to go wrestle a show. It's not do you want to wrestle the show? We are going to go wrestle the show.
Let me tell you this story. The last time I was on the road,
That's Bob's eyes. Like, I was in my eyes, that's Bob.
the last time I was on the road with Blood, we went to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I'll never forget this story. We get there, and the deal is it's sponsored by this bar. It's humongous. They got like volleyball things outside and all this other shit.
I don't remember.
And they're gonna drop the fucking the volleyball court and have people just everywhere. So we go in the night before to do a personal appearance at the bar, whatever, blah blah blah. And the owner comes over, and it's like me and Samu and Tony Adams there.
Al Snow was there.
That was the first time.
No, you were the first. That was the second one.
There was a bunch of guys there, and the owner comes over to us and said, "Listen, guys, I can't do this for the whole crew, but whatever you guys want, whatever you need, just go see whatever bar name." We're like, "All right, cool, thank you." And then he goes around to all you guys and goes, "Draft beers on the house, you know, whatever, blah blah blah." About 10 minutes later, I look at Blood and he's got a fucking pitcher in his hand. And I'm like, why don't you just get a fucking regular beer? He goes, because they're too fucking slow, man. Like 20 minutes later, 2 pitchers. So, end that night up, Buckchild bangs the fucking chick from the hotel, the maid. We go.
But you get in trouble for it.
Yeah, I get in trouble.
I was going to say, can we clarify
The first time I didn't do it. I was just there.
If you take your dick in my wife one more time, I'll take you out of the picture. I'm like, oh!
For once, you didn't do anything.
Yeah, like, fuck, man.
Buckchild took his dick. Oh, now
Yeah.
We saw a video of, you know.
So it's the next day, and I learned a long time ago from being on the road, like if it's a sponsored deal like that, and I knew we already, you know, food and everything else that place. I'm like, fuck, let's go stop by the bar on the way home. Thank the owner. I said, brother, will probably feed us and whatever, and we'll get, you know, give him some pictures. You remember, you have pictures everywhere.
Yeah.
We go in there and sit down in his office, and he goes, "Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. Blah 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 blah. I had a great time last night." He goes, "You know, I have never went through so much draft beer since I opened this fucking bar." He goes, "Who was the fucking guy with the 2 pictures?" I'm like, "That was his pet.
33.
He was getting paid. He got paid more fucking money that night in beer than he would have any time."
Well, that's the first time. Real quick though, that weekend. Let's recap what happened in that weekend. Real quick.
I remember the second time we did the school.
Yeah.
And John got fucked.
Yeah, that was the Al Snow show.
That
Yeah.
was, and just in that one night, Al Snow got heat with
First
me.
was Tony Atlas. Yeah.
Corey Bush got his eyebrow shaved. Bottom was got taken out of the picture.
I was there.
No, you were the first
I was there when Corey Bush got his eyebrows shaved.
You were
Yes, I was. Yes, I was. I was there when Corey, because I remember Samu. That was the same night I tried to break into the.
No, that was the first one, right?
No, he's right. Corey Bush took his second time because Al Snow
Here's
explained
how
about
I knew, right? Because the second time, in the
You're wrong.
In the one hotel room, it was me, Bob, and Blood. And Rambo had it written on the paper as Doiky Star and the Baltimore Boys.
All I remember is that woman Karen coming in there, and she would not. It's like, "Lady, I'm fucking taking a shower." Go away. And it's like, but no, those trips. It was just with the thing. And do you remember? Was it that trip that we were in the gas station and Brandon was showing
The video of him and his I'm not going to mention anybody's name, but I walked out from my match at the show the next day, and she was sitting right there next to Corey, because Corey was just talking to somebody, and I looked at Corey, I said, "Eyebrows," and I looked at her, and I said, "Cocksucker." Eyebrows or cocksucker?
Did you get a pop or?
Oh yeah.
But she went in.
The look on her face, the look of horror on her face.
They're getting married now, so it doesn't really matter. But so she went into like a rural farm or something to get subs, and all the guys were watching the video out front.
The look on her face when she walked.
But we
out.
all we did the slow clap. And she's looking at us.
Well, her look changed at first because she saw us all watching. I don't think she knew what it was.
Yeah, but then we did the slow clap. She knew.
Yeah.
And it's like, but in all seriousness, so far that's one of the success stories. That's cool for you.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
that doesn't happen.
I like you qualified with it so far.
Well, the thing of it is, I'm not married yet, but it's coming. But they're good people, and I said to him, I had to follow him talk a couple times. I'm like, dude, you ain't gonna find too many girls like that. I'm telling you.
He kept fucking up, and she kept coming back.
I mean,
He must have a big dick.
Well,
I don't know.
You've
bro.
seen it, so.
I probably
I
Weren't
just,
we just talking about a video? How did you not see it?
You're right. We missed it.
It was what?
I just remember when one night I'm working, John had these shows at this fucking mall or something. It was upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sweet Lord, the hotel.
So I'm doing a show and I come out from the back to get my money to go home, and Brandon was there with his dad. But Brandon's like this fucking
Oh,
guy,
yeah.
and it's like
He was still
tall,
riffing and shit.
No, he wasn't doing nothing yet.
Oh, okay.
And they asked me that. Like, they were like, you know, he really wants to be part of the wrestling business, whatever. And I'm like, well, talk to John Rambo. He owns a school and stuff, you know, whatever. Fucking John. The next time I come up there to work, he's a fucking referee.
Yeah.
The next time I come up to work, he's in the ring. He's in the ring. And then the next time, John goes, I'm going to marry you to this kid. I swear to God, dude, no matter where the fuck we got to a point where we didn't have to call a fucking match. It was just kind of like, don't do it like we did last time. Let's do it first.
Yeah, the first
They're
one.
like 3 or 4 different versions of the same shit. And it was so hilarious because we just did it over and over. And John, one time, we went and you were there, Patsy Cline's bar. Remember on top of the fucking
Oh,
hill?
the mountain, top of the mountain.
Yeah.
Oh,
and it had-
West Virginia Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
The giant guy? Yeah, I love
And
that
we
shit.
get to the point of the show, and I, stoned, whatever. And I go up and I go, John, what are you doing? He goes, oh, it's a tar and feather match. Now it's fucking like 12 noon in the middle of the summer in West Virginia, and fucking horrible heat. And I went, I have to pour fucking syrup on this fucking kid and hit him with feathers or whatever. And John thinks it's fucking hilarious.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So he sends that woman Karen to the store to find feathers. Well, we're in a fucking West Virginia.
You're gonna find
Just walking, you know, can I have your chicken feathers from the store? She comes back with these fucking things from Walmart. They were all different
I
kinds.
didn't even watch them. I didn't even.
I felt so bad. He cut his fucking hair and shit, dude. It was so bad. He brought this
Was it actual tar?
king, no, fucking king syrup. It's just like they did down in the middle.
Yeah,
They
king
did the
syrup,
same way.
yeah.
It's king syrup. But dude, it was so hot, it just poured out.
Oh.
And I'm trying not to even laugh again.
Bob's like, not the outfit, damn it.
No, dude, that shit's nasty.
Why didn't you just buy a pillow and gimmick the pillow?
So they took what John did is she bought like 20 packs of them. She rips them all open and sticks them in this little bag. Dude, they hit him with them colored feathers and that poor fucking bastard. I'm just looking at him going, I'm sorry.
He's a fucking chicken.
Like, I'm so sorry. The only place to take a shower was a fucking hose next to the building.
I think
That didn't work well.
I think John had a chicken fetish for Brandon. we had a tag match one time.
Brandon's earned his stripes.
It was,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
well, Rambo, you know, Rambo would just put the cards together like right before the show at the school. He's writing down, he's like, alright, it's me and Rocky against Socrates and the fucking chicken. I'm like, what the chicken?
The random guy in
You
chicken.
know what it was? It was Brandon and the chicken.
Oh,
suit.
okay.
And I'm drunk, people know I'm drunk as shit because I'm still an alcoholic at this point. Rambo and Brandon start the match. Rambo's fucking beating up. I'm yelling, he's pulling the feathers, ref. He's pulling the feathers. He's pulling the feet. Come on.
But that show Bob was talking about, that was no time Socrates almost died.
Oh, yeah.
Because me and Socrates were teaming. We were the Warpigs in the show,
Yeah.
and we were working the
The
Latin hit
Latin
squad.
Oh, geez.
Oh my God.
So like we wanted to do a spot.
Back home in Puerto Rico.
Socrates wanted to jump off my back outside the ring onto him as they came in. It was an opening of the match. So like they didn't want to take it.
Well, the guy had a broken wrist.
Yeah. He didn't want. They wouldn't take it. So I think it was my idea. Unfortunately, I was like, well,
No, it was mine.
oh, it was yours. Okay. He tells me, well, just move.
Yeah. Because I'm thinking, it's grass, right?
The grass would be soft, so you mount it.
I forgot there was a mountain
On the top of the mountain.
I get up, I take the boat. I get up,
Leave off my back, clears the fucking top rope, and just straight back bumps to the fucking mountain floor.
I get up and I cough, and a big thing of blood comes out. And I just go, hey, blood, this match is going to be like all of you. I came in for the finish, and that was it.
Yeah, he came for the hot tag, and that was it.
You stuck around for a finish?
Yeah. You just realized that you just said on live TV that blood just came out of your mouth.
Burning blood coming
Oh,
out.
all right, before I forget this, I know I'm late in the game, but we were talking about fire, and we were talking about hurting outside of the ring, and Monster came to my mind. This might be the worst I've been to Monster. We were at Chick-fil-A. I think you worked at Chick-fil-A at this point.
Oh yeah, a few years ago.
And Monster was a big fan of me pulling the fireball. Still is.
Random places.
Yeah.
Before like walking out.
Oh, so that's why he fireballed me at the bar for no apparent reason at all.
So we both go to the local liquor store and got these giant jugs of cheap wine. So we each had a giant jug of cheap wine, and we were drunk. And Monster got off work. He's like, "Hey, blow a fireball at me." I'm like, "All right."
Just for the fuck of it. Just put a fire in my face.
But no, I didn't want to hurt him, so I was like, "All right." I blew it at his feet.
And set it on fire.
I didn't know the science at the time. Heat rises.
Yeah.
So I blew this giant fireball. Like I had a mouthful of lamp oil. I blew this giant fireball at his feet, and it engulfed his entire body.
Yeah, the important thing was, I saw it coming. I took a slight leap back, like I was going for like whatever, and then like this, all the forearm here was gone. Like because I was going back, this didn't catch on my shirt. But like even the kids inside, like afterwards, like they were like,
It was
"What
still
the
open."
fuck was that?" This the one kid was like, "Oh, did you see it?" He's like, "No, I saw a giant orange."
I saw you on fire.
All I saw was fire. Where's the fucking footage from the security camera?
That would be awesome.
Imagine somebody at corporate goes, all right, well, let's just look at that. What in the fuck are they doing in my store?
I got
And that was at Chick-fil-A. Aren't they very religious?
definitely gone. I got third-degree burns on a backyard show one time, so I do in the hospital, and the doctor's got these scissors, and it's just snapping all the dead skin off of me because it's just hanging there. And apparently I smelled so bad because I still have my gasoline-soaked shirt on. Apparently the nurse walked in, turned around, threw up. So
You ever saw the video of that?
Oh,
So
God.
they did a foam table.
Yeah,
right?
so
So they put gasoline on it instead of like Zippo lighter fluid or something. So they lit it. I saw the video, and it's like the flames are above the ring.
Well, here's
I'm
what
like,
happened.
he still jumped.
Here's what happened. It was
Is it backyard?
Backyard fence.
Oh,
It was so much gas that it actually soaked through the table to the ground. So I hit the table.
Everything was on fire, and he still jumped.
The table. But I said I was going to do it.
Yeah, because
I'd rather burn it than to look like a bitch. There was like 12 people there.
so you know how much we worried when this fucker said, hey, I'd like to do this move to you in front of people.
But
Holy shit.
You know who saved my life though? Because I took the ball. There was so much on the ground when I hit the ground and I come up.
I was still on fire.
I forgot to stop around the road because I was panicking. So I'm running around on fire.
Oh, yeah.
And Big Mo comes
There's all
over.
video of this.
Big Mo comes over the blanket and just jumps on me, pushes me out. Keep in mind, I was never so happy to have a 400-man jump on top of me.
But see, here's the thing, and this is what stood out.
And here's the funny part. Oh, real quick, just to finish the story. Like 2 weeks later, I took us to a Korn concert, and I told Buddy, I'm still bandaged up from like head to fucking dick. I told Buddy, you know what? This is my first time seeing Korn. I'm getting in the mosh pit. He said, dude, you're fucking crazy. You're not getting in the mosh pit. I'm getting in the mosh pit. So they come on first song, Fall Away From Me. I'm in the mosh pit. Sound ends. I come back to my buddy. He looks at me. I'm just wincing and wincing. And I wasn't 21 yet at the time, but he was. I was like, bro, go get me some beer.
Yeah, my beard's gonna fix that.
What stood out to me is the fact that he said the nurse walked in the room and threw up.
Oh, yeah.
Was it because of the fire or was it because it was Socrates?
Wait,
Here's the thing. When you showed Jessie Jane your dick, she didn't throw up. So I don't understand.
They call me the thought whisperer.
Nobody calls it that.
You know what else there is, Doug? You know what?
I've been in a lot of women's bathrooms and I've never seen that.
That's never been written on a stall.
I watched Alice Religious.
That's a shirt now, the thought whisperer.
A little girl actually threw up the Hunger Fairy show when I was blood to death. I'm still proud of that. That's one of my proudest accomplishments.
Well, maybe you're the reason why I threw up on blood. God, you got a lot of pukes around in your life, Al.
It just follows me wherever I go.
You even said that the guy shit in your shower, so I mean, come on.
Mike DiMuzio threw up when me and Chucky Manson's tag match. We did a thumbtack match, our first thumbtack match. They had never seen shit like that.
Didn't I was referee for that, wasn't I?
No.
No, you ref me and Blood and Chucky's three-way.
Yeah. This is the first thumbtack match ever, I think, in Rambo's.
Wait, Blood.
They'd never seen it.
Was this the one I was in where I was barefoot?
No, it's just me and Chucky.
Okay.
And Mike DiMuzio threw up in his hands and like tucked it away or something.
Somewhere Vince McMahon was smiling and going, he's got a puke. He's got a puke.
All right, how far are we from a break?
We are about 5 minutes.
Okay, all right.
So, and momentarily, for those of you watching us live, we will be taking a break in about 5 minutes, and then we will be right back for the second part of Warpigs 4. Now,
Masterpiece.
and when we come back, we will also be doing our beer of the week. If you can't tell what it is on camera, and those of you watching at home go hear our beer of the week, we will also be doing our shot of the month. And
Not that one, no.
yeah, oh, Blood, you're doing this. I bought all the other shot of the month for you. You haven't tried yet. So
Apparently you have to catch up.
Are we allowed to talk? Are we allowed to talk bad about the show of the month?
whatever you think it is, whatever you think it tastes like is your opinion, but that's what the shot of the month
Don't
is.
offend Polo Club, but your gin sucks.
Well, Blood, look, all you have to do is just look at this bottle and know that
It looks
right within
fancy.
the next 10 minutes or so that this is going to be inside you.
Well, I can't say your gin sucks because gin sucks.
You ain't kidding.
Unless it's gin and juice.
I picked this up.
Yeah, you will.
You're being so much.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, he still got to wrestle tonight.
Yeah, we are doing a show.
Yes, we are
You can't
doing,
come.
nobody's
having a match.
We are doing a taped blood gauntlet for a farewell to blood. So that will be fun. So, Blood's like, I'm not going to drink a lot. I'm like, Blood, you're a fucking liar. Blood's actually concerned about drinking, but he wasn't concerned about drinking all the time. So he beat the fucking shit out of me every time he was drunk when he wrestled.
Only free shoot.
I was drunk every show for about 10 years because I was an alcoholic. There was only one time that I was irresponsible. Because we had an EWA show.
Only one time.
Oh, yeah, because
Just one time.
Remember we were at the school in Middle River? The one in Middle River?
Yeah.
Well, I was in the bowling alley. I thought the show was on a Saturday. I forgot it was on Friday. Every Friday I go to the bowling alley. So I'm there with my mom and I drank seven white Russians. And she says to me, she's like, don't you have a wrestling show tonight? I'm like, oh, no, that's tomorrow. She's like, no, you said it was Friday. I'm like, well, that's tomorrow. She's like, no, today's Friday. oh. So I show up, and Heaven's like, oh, you're working DJ Hyde tonight. I'm like, oh, great.
You were drunk for that? Night off.
And so I drank a few more beers.
Did DJ's Hyde Lariat knock you sober?
My kid not taken to the next universe.
But I was so proud. That was the proudest I've ever been a sucker cheese in that match. Because DJ told him that he doesn't take chops.
Yeah. Oh, so he's shopping?
That's like telling Chris Benoit.
So fucking DJ chopped him and gave him like the fucking horrible thudding chops. So it had no sound. I hate those. And sucker cheese was wheels back, and you hear that shit echo for like a mile away. DJ had tears coming down his face.
You don't tell Mozart not to play a symphony. You don't tell Nietzsche not to write philosophy. You don't tell the high priest not to throw chops. Because I am the thoughtless. I've chopped thoughts before. I don't before.
His are bad. I think the worst I've had are Tom Brandy though.
Wait a minute. You say Tom Brady's the worst of
Tom Brandy's worse than
The
yours.
worst chop I ever done was you chopped me with your fucking fork. And that was the worst thing I've ever done.
Remember Tom Brandy? Okay. His worst chops, okay.
I'm in a battle royal.
If Benoit would have chopped
Hands of stone, baby.
His fucking hand.
we're not Joe Thunder. Let me not Joe Thunder.
Back in the day, now that Joe wanted to be Ryan Gardner.
Yeah.
Back in the day, Ryan Gardner used to put like athletic tape around his knuckles, right? when he would do that overhand fucking chop, that shit would just rip your chest.
Oh, and it would stick to you.
And I watched him, and it was Ronnie Garvin and Flair. And I think Garvin was the only person I ever saw Flair want to back the fuck down. He didn't. Flair went, but dude, they worked in Baltimore, and they beat each other to the point where it's like, what the fuck? That's like Wahoo and poor Jimmy Garvin. Jesus Christ, in an Indian strap match, he wore his fucking ass out. If it wasn't with the goddamn chops, and if you ever saw Wahoo, I saw him a couple, I never got to work with him, but saw him in Indies. It was like a giant callus down the side of the because that's all I did with it, right? So when he's hitting it, it's like, fuck.
He ain't feeling it. No, I mean, Wahoo's not feeling it.
Yeah.
This is totally off topic. Totally off topic of me. It was my show, but Butch Reed.
Butch Reed just passed.
Yeah, Butch Reed's pitch. Did you ever work Doom or anything?
No.
I've never
a lot of shows with him, but no.
I've never seen much of Butch Reed. I've seen like a couple Doom matches, a few maybe.
You don't remember the Butch Reed feud with Superstar Billy Graham?
No. No. You ever
What
saw
else
the?
did he do up there?
In New York?
Yeah.
Fuck, nothing.
Wasn't he on WrestleMania 3? Who did he work? I can't
He was
remember.
on 4 in the
Oh.
tournament.
Please tell me you worked Doom. Have you
was
worked
on
Doom?
Doom.
No. Okay.
Yeah,
That's too young.
Butch
But that would be
Reed is-
awesome.
Butch Reed and Flair
He did work New Jack.
for Mid-South? Yeah.
For Vince, no, but I'm saying when he worked for Vince, because everybody out there would know that shit.
He didn't do much.
I'm saying I don't remember.
He was
I
in-
just remember the one Billy Graham thing because
He was in the world title. He was in the world title tournament at WrestleMania 4.
Yeah, because he was the reason why Billy Graham had to get the hip surgery.
I would love to see like Doom versus Bob Starr and
Me.
whoever that random guy was that beat shit outside.
Bob and Chad against New Jack and Vader.
Oh yes.
What we need to do real quick.
I tell you what's so great. Me and Bob have a better chance of beating New Jack and Vader now than we did 25 years ago. So I say bring it on, man.
With the handicap match now.
Oh. With that being said, we're going to go ahead. We're going to take a commercial break. For those of you watching at home, we will be back with a second part, and we will be back with Blood.
Think by Jack's
Second
wife.
part of
Think by
Warpigs
Jack's
4, Parallel to
I
Blood.
think he's good fit.
Yeah, Bob, we can totally take New Jack now.
Board.
Oh, no, we're going to do it live. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Happy Hour podcast. Unfortunately, Chad had to roll out, so we're back. Of course, it's me, Ray. We're here with Warpigs 4. We're here with Bob Starr,
Hey, we're live
Johnny
now. I have
Monster,
notification.
Blood, Chris Burns, and Socrates. So, what we're going to do first is we're going to get into our beer of the week. And we mentioned a little bit before we went on, and our beer of the week
It's not beer of the week.
Rolling Rock.
That's just beer.
And I don't know, but yeah, we do have some Stone Cold Broken Skull Ale here. Shout out to Stone Cold Broken Skull IPA, who was beer of the week in the future. But we do have Rolling Rock. Rolling Rock is our beer of the week this week. And of course, you know, Rolling Rock has worked on my. I've had some bad, long nights of Rolling Rock. Anybody who knows me, who grew up with me, knows that Rolling Rock. I tried to pet a white horse that a cop was on top of in Ocean City. The white horse on the back of the bottle for all the memories that we had together. You know, so yes. So shout out to Rolling Rock.
Why did you rode the white horse?
No, the horse was kicking his legs. He's like, you got two options: go to jail or get out of here.
And did you try to open the bottle in the back of the horse?
No, my friend Bobby was aggressively petting the horse on its anus. So I will say that he was more so slapping the horse's ass. And that was happening. So, shout out
We don't judge. We don't
That's
judge
our
you.
beer of the week. So now what we're going to do, and I know
Nietzsche
you
Blood.
love.
That was my third Nietzsche reference.
Blood is
But nobody
is
knows,
not
so.
excited about this.
I'm an esoteric man.
I'll go ahead and I'll take all the shot glasses. We're going to get into our shot of the month, which is the 88 proof Polo Club American Dry Gin.
I get the
It's not alcoholics.
Oh, well, I get the big one too. So.
Mine's gonna be Deer Park Natural Spring.
Oh, speaking of which, on the way here.
Dude, like 10 years ago.
Did you really?
My liver failed.
Oh, shit. No, I didn't know that.
But on my memories, when I picked up second to you for the show, on my memories was the Big Shot. Big Shot for my birthday.
What were you to kill?
Oh, the score. Oh, yes. I remember the score.
You know, the big show was also when we took Johnny Monster.
Oh, when Monster's birthday gold club. When his birthday super.
It was a bachelor party.
Bachelor party.
It never happened.
Remember we went to Christina's and Monster just stayed in the car. He couldn't get out. The passenger was definitely.
What happened to him?
You had her.
Yeah.
I interrupt you. I had your dick sucked. I got.
Oh, wait a minute.
Did he actually?
No, I didn't do it.
No, I know that.
You'd be pointing to him for that.
But I'm saying he was such a nice, young, innocent kid. What the fuck happened? You got kids. You got fucking
Kids singular and
I'm
fans.
somehow. Think about this though. All the guys from WWF that are dead, and somehow I'm still alive. How the fuck did that happen?
I remember Bob did a trick you were trying to do, but I don't remember him ever giving your dick sucks.
All right.
Here's Bob.
Hold on.
Bob's banging a chick. I tried to bang him successfully.
Here's the blood.
We'll remind you later, Bob.
And also, what we were going to do is Blood has missed some of the shots of the month. So what we're going to do is we're also going to do the Jack Daniels Winter Jack, which Bob's going to do with us right after the
And
You
Bob
get Bob a
doesn't
shot. Ray, Bob doesn't have a shot.
Bob doesn't.
I know,
drink,
Bob doesn't
so-
with the chin, so
No,
we're
I'm
going
not
to
drinking it.
Oh, okay. We're going to chin. So, all
Chad
right.
says
You guys
no.
ready? Let's put this,
I said no too. That's horrible.
But no, I applaud you.
like that.
I know how hard that shit is.
I think I just saw Jesus.
It's like life or death. So
I have one relapse, but other than that, I'm good.
Anything. He doesn't know. Weed, nothing.
I once in a while. It's not like I used to.
All right, Bob, this will be
Weed's
yours.
not- Dude, don't give me that big ass fucking thing.
No,
Just
no,
give me
no,
a
no,
normal
no, no, no,
fucking
no, no.
shot. Jesus Christ.
There's that.
Fucking guy that doesn't drink.
And then, now, all right, Blood.
I like the way
Jack.
Jack was like,
Well, that's what he said. As soon as you said that, I'm good.
You heard? Yeah.
I wish we would have started with that.
No, this is a good chaser.
This is the chaser.
This is the chaser here. Go ahead.
God damn.
So,
The best
shout out
chaser
to Jack Daniels Winter Jack, which was last month's shot of the month.
I hate
And yeah, it's going to be our chaser for the Polo Club, our current shot of the month. So here's to it.
Can't
And Bob
reach it,
will also be
'cause
doing this
now-
as well.
Now that I found out my mom watches this, I can't reach it.
That sounds
Let
fancy.
you shut the hell up.
I don't think your mother should be
There
surprised.
we go. This one is not
That's
All right.
really good.
Yeah, that is really good. So we have a whole
That's,
number of bottles right
I
here.
tell you, another one, if you can ever get a hold of it, is Green Label Jack.
Green label.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, the bottle's green, won't
Is
give you
it
a fucking headache, nothing. I don't know, but I just know somebody brought it up to me, we were on the road somewhere, and I'm like, I'm not drinking that nasty shit they have regular Jack. He's like, oh, I got this Green Label one, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And he legitimately got it when he was in Tennessee, and he was like, maybe it's just down there, because I can't find it.
I love fucking Tennessee.
And it's like, well, Jesus Christ, dude, I looked yesterday on Facebook, and they adopted the 50 caliber rifle as the state fucking weapon.
Nice.
Jesus Christ. The poor fucking deer.
So what we're going to do now, we're going to get into our games, O is Humanity.
Oh.
So,
I wish I
what,
had this.
yeah. So what we're going to do first, and this is going to
I
start
was
with
wondering
Blood.
what that fucking
If
thing
Blood
was.
doesn't get it, it's going to go to Awkward, then
That's
go
what
to
your
Sucker
butt-
Piece,
my
and me,
mom,
then
yeah.
Looks like a weird anal plug.
So pretty much what we're going to do is I'm going to say name 3 things of something. If Blood says 2 of them but can't get it, those 2 things are out. Can't say it again. So, pretty much. Name
Name 3 5-star.
He's gonna give us shots and beer and then be like, oh, here's the rules.
Name 3 5-star Butch chess matches.
Oh,
All right.
Lord.
So name 3 things that a doctor does to you at his or her office.
Finger in the butt, bandage, and fuck me.
Time. All right.
That's only important.
So finger in the butt, bandage are out. So now it goes to awkward.
So, now, do I have to come up with 1 or 3 more?
No, three different
with 3.
Can't repeat what I said. Yeah.
Yeah. So name 3 things that a doctor does to you at his or her office.
Except for the first one.
Temperature, blood pressure, and
All right, awkward got it. So awkward gets that round. So now next is going to be incoherent. And since it is Blood's night, this is a night about blood.
We're going again.
Blood's got to figure this out. So Blood, we played this last week
Oh, yeah.
with Catherine Suffolk. So you know what this is all about. So if you need help, where the hell is the little thing for this? Right here. So you got until this little turn dial gets all the way down to the bottom and figure it out. If you need hints, let me know. But what does this say in drunkenese?
Colic bead, colic bead.
What the fuck?
You gotta say all the ones.
Yeah.
Colic bead. I got the last one. I guess for help, you said?
Yes.
Psycho cheese. Psycho cheese is better at this shit.
All right. So Psycho,
I'm gonna have to.
you gotta read what that hint is.
Oh, the hint.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, turn around. Turn around.
He can't read. He's blind.
All right. Well, I'll read the hint. The hint is a headline. Headline. Yes.
I don't fucking know.
You want the second hint?
Sure.
When the title of the article is the only interesting part of the
Click.
article.
Oh. I know. I think I know it now. I know it now.
Dude, this is too fucking hard.
That's too much thinking.
Ready?
Yeah.
The man with 145 IQ, clickbait.
Yes!
Clickbait.
Socrates got clickbait.
Now, it's jailbait and probably.
Possibly nothing.
I'm too old for clickbait. I don't know.
And then, of course, we can't do Ode of Humanity without Cards Against Humanity. So, what we're going to do is, Blood, why did the chicken cross the road? Very simple. Very old
Simple
school.
one, yeah.
A good, clean Christian comedy. Curly fries so good that you quit ISIS. The cutest fucking shoes I've ever seen. And Little Debbie and her mom, full-size Deborah.
I'm going with that one then. That reminds me of Bob. I'm sure Bob has done.
I think I'll agree with Socrates.
And her full-size mom as well.
Holy shit.
It's almost the kind of thing that these fries are so good, I don't think I'm going to blow this building up tonight.
You can have 72 versions or large.
That's also something John
I'll take the curly fries.
John was the part of Boss Hog. John remember Boss Hog.
You got that too?
No, he didn't get the Boss Hog.
I
He
tried.
remembered Boss Hog.
I was such a young boy. I
I don't know, man.
All right, so we have a couple of comments from people watching at home. One of our regular co-hosts, Matt, he's watching, and he said, Blood did say fuck me if you go to the right doctor. If you go to the right doctor.
That's only a board.
Yeah. And also Tom Nutty, who's an avid viewer of the podcast not too long ago. By the way, fuck Tom Nutty.
Fuck you, Tom Nutty.
Yeah. Tom's about to know. He said Rolling Rock is a solid choice.
Wait. I'll tell you one thing about Tom Nutty. He doesn't know whether to come or cry.
Now, let's get right back into it. Of course, we're done with our game.
Hold on, can we tell the cover cry story? Because I don't remember.
Oh, yeah, let's tell the cover cry story.
I don't remember the cover cry story.
Socrates has a photographic memory, so I'm sure Socrates remembers.
Okay. So
Because this is the part of the show that derails anyways once we get to the shots in the game.
Yeah.
we were at Leaner's for New Year's Eve in 2008.
Why is fucking everything starting? Hey, Dan. If the parties are that good, goddamn. It all starts with at Dan's house, and Dan's lost up.
We were at Dan's. I was drunk, so I was kind of hitting on his sister, and this was before she gained 100 pounds. I was hitting on his sister. And, she was drunk, we're just fucking around. No, I'm sorry, I buried her. But she just grabs me by the dick and starts squeezing my dick as hard as she can. Just fucking won't let go.
I seen that happen in the school bus.
Well, I probably did. She squeezes the fuck out of my dick, so I tapped out. I'm done. And then DJ looks at me, and DJ's like, "You alright, man?" And I just look at DJ, I'm like, "Bro, I didn't know whether to come or cry."
So that's why I didn't remember the story, because I thought it happened awkward.
I just remember that comfort cry has been part of our vocabulary for a very long time.
That was one of the few times that a chick grabbed my dick and it didn't turn out well.
What, were you there the night that we did the cinnamon challenge?
No.
Oh my God!
Star Trek.
Oh my God! I didn't enjoy the videos.
Oh my God! And mind you, Star Trek did it with us. Star Trek would help us out on Happy Hour TV every so often when we had a TV show. What he could do is he had that ability like the Man Show. You remember the old dude that could just take a beer straight down?
Yeah.
Well, he had that ability.
Oh.
So what he did is when he took his shot of cinnamon, he opened his throat and and it went down. And then he realized it was a terrible idea. So when he did it, you ever see the old school photos of like people in the 1800s when they conjure up spirits and ectoplasm is coming out of their mouth. He had ectoplasm coming out of his mouth, and we were calling him Puff the Magic Dragon because he shot cinnamon out of his mouth.
He held it down for like 10 seconds, and then he coughed. Then he's like fucking great Buddha.
The photos from that were great.
Oh my god. Yeah, it looked like he was conjuring a spirit out of his soul.
What you gonna get from this?
I don't care. We're gonna get all of you.
Oh, hey, look,
They're collecting shit, bro, like a fucking, like an old man, like a newspaper. We're just collecting the heat.
Everybody listening to this podcast.
Yeah. I'm closer to fucking Dan and Star Trek.
Anybody listening to this podcast is a degenerate anyways. By the way, shout out to the UK.
I'm a good Christian man.
Listens in every single week. The UK always outreach
UK?
the US.
Why?
Every
Shout out,
week.
mate.
Every single week. So shout out to the
Cheerios,
UK.
motherfuckers.
Yeah. Well, even though our Facebook Live is all American, but the audio version is the UK. So shout out to the UK. Also, shout out to the people in South Africa who listen
Oh,
and
shit.
various other places.
South
That's the name
Africa.
for
I got a
it.
secret back here. Let's go from South Africa.
Yeah, and don't forget the people in Ireland who love Socrates.
I am Irish.
And Warpigs won. Yes.
The people in Ireland like Socrates?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
everywhere like
Yeah.
Socrates.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Why don't you fucking like me, fuckers?
So, Blood, this is your night. Is there anything that you want to talk about?
Dude, that's up to come cry.
So let's get into it. Let's see. What's
What's your favorite match?
Yeah.
And not because it's one of your friends, but what was the worst
Favorite
most
wrestling match?
Yeah.
Like,
I
actually,
in a ring at a show.
What other match did you have besides a wrestling match? Like you were like wrestling match? You know, dumbass.
well, no, I meant like favorite wrestling match, like not here, the guys here.
Yeah.
But actually, we talked about the last show.
Wasn't when you were
But-
Spike?
Spike. My favorite match was Spike Dudley.
That's at Kobe Pro.
It was
Wasn't that when Socrates
not only was it a
wrestled?
good match,
No, it was
but we
cool.
didn't discuss any of it at all. And like everybody was worrying about Spike, so I was nervous as hell. Like Spike's gonna be high and shit. He's drunk. He's not gonna know what's fucking going on. And he was fine. He might have been high. I think he was high. But like the only thing he called, he's like, I don't care what you do. But I want you the finish. I want to give you the acid drop onto a pile of chairs. And he's like, at some point, I want you to throw me down the bleachers. I'm like, all right.
Okay. Super fucking.
I'm recording this match. So I'm listening in the back because I worked first, and then Blood recorded my match, and then that was later on in the night I recorded Blood's match, which was with Spike. And I remember Spike saying that, I'm like, and we picked Spike up then. We picked Spike up, he was drinking beer, he's like, do you mind if I smoke pot? And we were like, dude, you can do whatever the fuck you want, you're Spike Dudley. Whatever you want. So I'm recording the match, and I remember Blood looking at Spike, and he's like, well, here we go. And he grabbed Spike by his belt, and I'm like, this ain't gonna end good. You asked the wrong fucking guy to throw you down the
And
ring.
honestly, I pushed him a little bit, but like I didn't like actually throw him like he wanted to. But I let him do it. But he cleared the first 10 steps and just slammed down and rolled.
But you can't blame him.
I've told Blood this. That steel chair death match, which I'm still feeling to this day. The 5 hardest chair shots I ever took in my life. Number 1 was Maxwell Rotten. 2, 3, 4, and 5 were all in the same match. From him.
Well, I've said this before in one of the previous episodes, is that Blood is the only guy who made me shit myself when we were wrestling. He sat there, he fucking, unbeknownst to me, he's like, I'm gonna slam you on the floor. I'm like, alright, well, I guess it's fucking happening. And he slammed me so hard on the floor. So fucking, it was a pre-show. You slammed me so hard on the floor. I had to go to Ocean City that night. And I went home, and I was like, oh man, I don't feel right. And a little bit of poop came out when you slammed me. And I was like, Jesus.
I remember I made JD pee himself a lot.
Well, if you remember,
No, I think
So wait a minute, Blood's got the triple crown here. He made you poop, he made Chad puke, and he made JD pee.
But JD knew what was happening. I was like, because like I think Hamilton had told me to kick his ass for some reason, and we just did a regular match. I was like, and I told him I was like, all right, he told me to kill you. So for the finish of the match, I'm going to senton you off the apron onto the floor. He's okay.
Apparently Hamilton's done that a few times.
Yeah. So I jump off and I misjudged it a little bit, and I just
misjudged it a little bit.
And
jumped off.
I landed all on him. Like there was no floor.
Yeah.
Because the floor hurts. I don't want to hurt me. And fucking, I just landed right on him, and I jumped a good bit off that apron. I'm a fat guy, but I jumped pretty high, and I just came straight down on him, and immediately just soaked the floor.
It was like you hit him so hard he turned into liquid.
Yeah.
You might say it was a plethora of piss.
Plethora of pee.
You know what? I will say this about JD. JD was one of my favorite feuds because JD was one of those guys that I would look at him and go, "Hey, we're gonna go out there and beat the dog shit."
Oh yeah,
out
I
of
was.
each other.
No, I'll say this. I'm not just saying this because he's my friend, but my 5 favorite matches I've ever had. My best match was with Marcus Streets, but 4 out of the 5 were with Blood.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing with Blood. Like I look at it like this: 90% of my career involves Blood. Either Blood was my opponent, which I've never in my entire career ever pinned Blood. Not once. Not once. You know, Blood beat me for the EWA.
He's the Raven to your Tommy Dreamer.
And then also, when you look at it, Blood also was my partner for a while when we were the Warpigs, 4-time SWO Tag Team Champions.
4 times?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know,
You
when
guys
you
had to
look
work
at
for
it,
Dudley?
what's up?
You guys had to work for Dudley?
Oh, we were for Dudley.
Yeah.
Wolfman's Dudley.
Yeah.
I thought Dudley once.
Wolfman, yeah.
And
I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, Dudley? There ain't that many people here. I'm like, okay.
You told me to come here.
Fuck.
Yeah. And the best part, and you know, I don't put Bob over because Bob, as a referee, Bob's the best. Because Bob's one of those kinds of guys that when you're working a match, if the crowd's into it, Bob's going to give you more time.
Yeah.
If the crowd ain't into it, Bob's going to be like, look, you motherfuckers need to take it home.
I do have to say this. When Bob ref me Blood and Chucky's match at AWL, I went to Bob to tell him to finish, and the only thing you told me was, don't bleed on me, motherfucker.
Bob's the only ref I've ever had in my 20-year career. And where's the 20 years?
Jesus
You
Christ.
feel old as shit.
Well, that's the thing. Bob,
We got Lou Fez over.
you started, like,
Bob, when you
I
started,
started
you were,
1988.
you were training with Lou Fez, weren't you?
But Bob's the only ref who has ever talked to me. I've never heard a word of any other ref in my entire
See
career.
that same way?
But Bob would tell me what to do,
yeah,
where the hot girls were in the crowd.
I was
like,
full off.
my Bob be like, hey, look at that bitch over there.
I was full off talking to that. He was such a nice, funny.
And the ref was supposed to talk. They're supposed to tell you what to fucking do.
No, Blood. I talked to you one time when I was refereeing your match.
Oh,
You
okay.
remember what I said?
No.
It was a hardcore match. It was you and Bird against somebody, and you were just throwing shit at people. And you missed me by like 2 inches. And I said, Blood, if you hit me, this match is over because I'm going to the hospital because I had degenerative disc in my back. So please be careful.
Which
But
is
as a referee, if you really think about it, and all you guys have been in the ring, if you have a referee, in my day, they were supposed to be seen and not heard.
Right.
Dave DeWade would bitch at me and yell at me, and I couldn't tell you a fucking word he said because you get a certain pitch.
yeah.
And when you want them to hear you, you change it and they pay attention quick. But like when I'm working with guys that are more experienced than me, and it's like if I see the crowd shitting on something, I'm gonna fucking tell you.
Yeah.
Why fuck the whole show up? The number one thing that the young boys today, girls today, don't get is they're all about I gotta get my shit.
Let's do
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And here's the deal: if you gotta get your shit in the first match and you suck, that means the next guy going out is going to have 100 times worse thing trying to get the crowd to pop because they're already shitting on it.
Yeah, and
the
see,
match.
here's the
So
thing,
you
hold
can
on.
help from a referee. Now, I'll tell you what, anytime I've ever refereed like Tito, Santana, or any of the top guys, I don't ever say shit though.
Well, not only
You know what I
that,
mean? I let them time.
but
yeah.
I've told, like, I can tell you, like, in matches, I told you, it's like, hey, go tell him,
Mm-hmm.
you know, duck this line, whatever
Right,
the fuck the next spot is. I've told other refs that, and they look at me like, what?
Like, you want me to? Yeah.
Go tell him the spot, fucker!
Yeah, I got 3.
See, the cool thing is, and Blood knows this too. A lot of times when we were going to strip clubs, it would be me and Blood working each other. We would work the same match every fucking weekend because we wanted to
Everyone's
see
done,
tickets. That's the thing. So literally, me and Blood could work a match right now. Right muscle memory. We would think of the spots that we did before.
You are getting older.
Backstab. You know, but see, here's the thing.
Me and Steve Riggs did the same thing. Steve Riggs,
Where
we
is
had
Steve
spots
Riggs?
called. We were like, all right, spot number 2, spot number 4, spot number 3. I'm like, okay.
Actually, I invited Stevie today, but he had to work. So Stevie had to work. So yep. So shout out to Stevie Riggs.
It really sucks though. Hey Steve, I mean, if you watch this, I miss Steve. He's a good guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's like
I-
some
I-
stupid shit happened over the years.
Former member of the Christian Academy with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Eagle.
We had a lot of fun. We really
Yeah.
did.
Honestly, some of the most fun times I had was me and Steve and Eagle as a group. However, you Bob and you Tim and Stud and the 6-man. That was good times.
Well, I had the privilege of going into the EWA Hall of Fame with not only Stevie Riggs, but also So, and speaking of that show, that was the show we had. You know, we talked about our careers
You
on
remember the finish on that, right, Bob?
That was the show that when we did it, we did that spot with in the corner, and we were up on the ropes. Who the hell was it that we were up on the ropes with? It was, I'm so
What match are you talking about?
Nothing in a
the
row.
whole thing show.
Oh, the big guy. Hi.
Oh, okay,
we were
yeah.
with Chris Hyde, and we're sitting there, we're talking in the back.
That was our fault after watching it. That was our fault.
That was our fault. So we're sitting there,
after
we're
watching
talking in the back, we're like, hey, look, here's what the finish is going to be. We're going to sit there, we're going to double suplex you off the top rope through the table. And then Berg's going to do his little like slingshot leg drop thing, and that'll be the finish. Okay, cool, I got it. You want to go over it? No, we think, you know, we're good.
We got it, yeah.
So we got it. So we're up there on the ropes, both me and Blood, and Hyde can't get over. And he's like, I can't get over.
Well, no, as soon as we put him up there, we put him up there, he's like, I can't do it, guys. I'm like,
And Blood was like, I literally heard like, what the fuck do you mean?
Now wait. He can't get over there, or just can't get over in general.
So Blood looks at me and he's like, fuck it, we're doing it. And I'm like, okay, so I go to pull him, and he bailed. So me and Blood slide and we hit head first on the table. And then I looked at Blood in the back. When we got in the back, I looked at him like, in retrospect, we should have just looked at him and went, push us. And he could have just pushed us, and we could have just taken the table.
I was
the table just like this.
Yeah.
So it would have.
I was the ref of that match. I looked at it and I said to you, I said, Ray, just a minute. No, the match I was talking about it was a 6-man. It was me, Eagle, and Stevie against Bob, Lucifer, and Stud Lee. Bob didn't remember the finish. The finish was Stud Lee pinning me with a fucking T.
Stud Lee.
Yeah, he pinned me with a T.
Mark? Oh, Jesus Christ.
And then he got
years ago.
And then after the match,
You want to be I got a P2.
Mark was a smart one. He said, fuck this, I'm going to start.
The host of the show. You can fucking leave the P, I can't.
He dropped the T on me from the pinfall. Then he dropped the T on Jenna after the match. And that got a bigger pop than anything.
I did that a couple of times myself.
That was after the show.
Man, we
I remember we were in the back talking over the match, and suddenly Mark said to you, he's like, hey, should we spank her after this match, or should we do it the next show? You're like, we should just do a both. And she's like, what?
I'll never forget.
That was my last match.
I took a picture one time with her in the dressing room, and it was me, her, and Tim.
Was this when you were pulling her to that?
Yeah,
I saw that
I didn't
picture.
mean to. I just went like this, and my finger hooked her top. And
The look on her face.
yeah, I really didn't mean to do it. I talked to her not long ago. She's doing good.
Have you talked to London? Is London still alive?
As far as I know,
I feel better she's passed.
You know, Chris is gone.
Yeah, I know Chris was gone.
Chris who?
Chris.
Carnage.
Oh, yeah, I know
And she had to do.
Somebody told me London passed. I was like, I feel.
I don't know about that. I mean, I haven't talked to Andy in a while.
Who's on?
Andy used to keep me up to date.
Yeah, Andy. I talked to Andy.
It's all yours.
Oh, there we go.
Because they got the kids.
Welcome back, folks.
Hey, how dare you call me out? I'm the host of this show. I'll do whatever the hell I want. All right, how dare you?
I just want to know, can I have this bottle when you're done?
We filled the bottle.
Not to mention.
Awkward. When me and Blood as the Warpigs worked you in Canada, was that like your, second match?
I want to say third match, if you want to count the week prior at Rainbow's.
Oh, that's right, you
Whatever,
had one,
right,
okay.
that's
Well,
it.
where did you start? Here?
I started at EWA.
EWA.
Well, at the Middle River School.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, it was a grocery store.
No, The school before
place
here.
just like this.
Yeah.
It's like here.
A building just like this.
It's like
Okay, I was there once.
Even Way just started doing shows at Tall Cedars.
Okay, yeah, because
That's
when I
what-
went
that's
there,
where it
I went
started.
there one time, and that's when I met Drox.
Yeah.
Drox was there, and,
Yeah.
and he's this motherfucker. He calls me Pops, and he's older than I am. Son of a bitch. Love him to death. They're all good guys,
Yeah.
man. And that's the one thing, it's like, because these were the young boys, and it's funny because they're still young boys. We're still the same, we all age together. But it's like, every crew has just been so much fun. And it's like, there's always a fucking heat seeker somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Like, fuck, for many years it was me. I got heat just for waking the fuck up.
There's
Oh, wait,
always
he's Bob Starr?
I either fuck their sister, their mother, their fucking
Or at the same
We're
time.
both at the same time.
But you were still more morally upstanding than Randy.
Yeah.
Randy Senior.
He tried to get me to pay for the school by fucking my mom, which she turned down.
There's always one heat seeker in each class of the school.
Yeah, and it was fun, and they were fun too because we needed somebody to kick shit out. Right?
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, but the thing of it was, is it's like these guys, like if it wasn't for wrestling, they probably wouldn't even fucking. Well, you two would know.
Yeah, we do.
But like,
That's okay.
There's a lot of cases in most people in the business because a lot of people we know or are friends with are in the business. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have
the
any
business?
friends outside.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
still
see,
to this
here's
day,
the
and I've
thing,
been
when-
sort of retired for 10 years.
Yeah.
Is what we're
Here's the thing, when I
Yeah.
walked into the business, there's two people that I know that I still talk to today that were there when I started.
Me?
One, oh, actually three.
Yeah.
Secretaries, Blood, and Bob Starr. That's it.
Because I was there the very
Yeah,
first night you came
yeah.
into school, right?
And I think Bob, and I think Blood can contest to that. Bob has contributed, like, to me, alone. And I'll say this, that Bob has contributed so much to my career. You know, it's insane. You know, Bob.
That's one of the skinny new trainees. He's.
Why is it
Work
all
out.
Hey, training. Come kind of promo. Get yourself over, kid.
That's the thing, like Bob, regardless if he was a ref or if I worked him or whatever, you know, Bob always was just a sponge. Or like, I would be a sponge. He had so much knowledge that was like, hey, dude, you know.
Well, I
do
was
this.
taught when I first started, the first lesson, verbal lesson we were told, to keep your mouth shut and your ears open. And you'll learn so much more. And it's like, now, everybody's fucking doing this. When I started, you sat in the back of the car and you shut up and you fucking.
You listen to the
Yeah,
next song.
you listen
to
You
the
sit
next
next to
song.
him.
And you learn.
You watch Tom Brady walk around naked and talk about his fucking.
Yeah, like when Jake came in, and you know this, when Jake came in, Jake was walking around our locker room naked, you know, whatever. You're like, oh, Jake, what's up, man? You know, but here's the thing, though. I had to work Jake in a tag match. Where was I? I was this close to Jake. I sat down next to Jake, and that's the thing, that.
Jake Roberts is
Yeah.
probably one of the smartest people ever in this business.
Oh,
Oh yeah, yeah.
And one of the best promos ever, and people don't understand about it because anybody can sit there and yell and scream.
Yeah.
Talk like this. And people have to sit up and say, what the
Stand
hell
up.
did he just say? It's like, no, he didn't say that.
Because everyone's like yelling about it.
And you believe this.
Yeah.
And now, mind you, I've worked with them all. I worked with Sam Houston. I worked with Grizzly Smith was my boss, which was his dad, and then with Jake too. I've worked with him against him in referee form. And Jake, to this day, I'm just happy he's here. And he has to thank DDP for that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, a lot of guys make a joke, but I mean, just like him, he'd be dead if he didn't stop drinking.
Yeah.
Jake needed some help to get his shit straight. There's a lot of guys that do. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, the business isn't what it used to be.
Yeah.
You know, fucking kids want to go play video games and shit now. We wanted to bang fucking around.
Like you said, Bob even said on our podcast, he got into the business to bang chicks.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing.
I mean,
Since we're talking about the beginning, I wanna. We've been doing with the third Warpigs. Fourth
This is the
Warpig.
Fourth, yes.
Fourth show?
Fourth
Is that what
Warpig,
you-
yeah.
Warpig
Fourth
Roundtable.
Roundtable.
But this is the first one. Johnny Monster
Yeah.
is the original Warpig.
original Warpig.
He ain't the first Warpig.
Yeah.
It was his idea.
Yeah.
Really?
I can let you know that.
No, the Warpigs.
I'm like,
Was it?
yeah, I remember talking about.
Now, when I first heard it, was the Middle School in EVA. When I first remember hearing about it and think it was a good idea, he brought up the Warpigs idea. But I just thought it was a good name for a team.
Yeah.
You come out in pig masks.
Oh yeah.
You're the Warpigs.
I think me and Psycho both wore those pig
Yeah,
masks
we did.
at some
Yeah,
point.
because me and Monster bought the fucking original Warpig mix. I found them on eBay.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, let's do the fucking Warpigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was.
And I thought about it earlier. That's why I
No,
invited
no.
Monster, because I was like, Monster was a part of the
Stacy
Warpigs, and we're doing
Spandex.
Warpigs 4,
called
which is the
Stacy
final
Spandex.
Warpigs that we're doing. Because I said, we can't do any of the work. Like, it wouldn't do as much justice having you come in via Zoom. We need to do it in person.
Yeah.
So, and, Monster created it. Little did he know that it'd be, you and Psycho.
Yeah.
You would be, you and John Bird.
Yeah.
It was kind of like the Horsemen.
It was
There were
first-
so many,
It was first me and Rambo's,
Yeah.
or me and Monster and Rambo's, and it actually when Monster couldn't make it or stopped wrestling,
That was on you.
Psycho used to fill in.
But do you remember the one
And
show?
yeah, that's what we're talking about.
We were sitting there, and Rambo, keep in mind, we've been tagging together probably like 2-3 months at this point.
Yeah. The monster be going wild.
Rambo's putting the show together and said, "Blood, we're doing the Warpigs."
And then Monster.
He's right here next to me. And Rambo's like, "No, the other guy." I was been there like 3 months.
And that's the thing. And honestly, the first time I ever did a Warpig was me and Blood, we teamed. It was the first Pittsburgh
That was
show.
Pittsburgh show,
It
yeah.
was the Pittsburgh show. And I was Gold Thumb, but I was wearing the Warpig mask.
Yeah.
That was the only time
And you know what?
Gold
You know
Thumb
what?
had ever
I think-
wore any other mask besides the
I
Gold
think-
Thumb
I think-
mask.
I think-
It was that Warpig.
I think I'm the only one to be a Warpig and work against the Warpigs, because I worked doing Monster.
Oh, yeah.
We hit it,
Onyx, the tall guy.
Onyx, yeah.
Yeah, that guy was awesome. And but in going back to Rainbow, remember me like 6 months later.
Yeah.
And the only reason he remembered me in the first place was because my belt broke at one
Oh,
point.
yeah.
His pants fell off, and he did his whole match in the box in his box.
And then you broke Houston's nose the battle.
I'll never forget that when Johnny Monster shit
Tried to shit on Brett.
Yeah, when he shit on Wes.
That was the best shit ever.
Yeah.
You know what? The first time, I don't know if you remember your first match tag with Blood's Warpigs. But my first match with Blood's Warpigs, you remember it was Kobe Pro. It was supposed to be you and me against Crazy Shane and Crazy T.
Yeah, but Crazy
Crazy Shane didn't show up, so it was a handicap match. But I asked you I was like, do you know what the finish is going to be? And you were like, I think Crazy Shane does the Canadian Destroyer, so he'll probably do it on you. And I was like, he could want to do it.
Yeah.
But he didn't want to do it.
It's the first time was the Pittsburgh show. And then after that, we get started working SWO.
Yeah.
And then we had tag teams. So they were short guys.
And what's your tag team name? Like,
Well,
you want to be a Warpig?
we'll be the Warpigs. And I had a drinking gimmick. So
Yeah.
we came up with shots and all that, but it was one of those kind of things where I had the shots gimmick, but you were you. But I understood what you were saying. You were trying to like, Blood. I mean, yeah, Blood, I know, he sucks. I know, he sucks, Blood. I understand.
But our entrances were the best shit ever.
Yeah.
Like, he would blow his fucking horn,
Yeah.
and that was like calling me.
Yeah. I would come out and Blood would come out like, wow.
My favorite Warpigs match, I'm sure Blood was, it was me and Blood against Kindred and Grolix, like when they first started working. And for some reason, we were just fucking over that night. Remember? It was at the
The fucking Apollo,
Yeah, Blood's taking the heat the whole match. I get the hot tag. It was like Ricky Morton tagging Robert Gibson in 1986.
Exploded.
It just fucking exploded.
I was like,
I come in, I
and we
come
go
in.
stop. I remember we go stop. We looked around like, really?
We stopped it like, wait a minute. We're over. I come in, I come back, and they went banana.
And here's the thing, Blood, you can probably agree, you can confirm or deny, that I feel like in SWO, the Warpigs were the SWO, what the Legion was the EWO.
That was
We
some
got
bullshit.
over
They were
so
huge.
quick.
That was some
Yeah.
shit that I still say that is
Yeah.
dead. Because I always like to go thumb.
Yeah.
I think it could have went farther.
Rockets looked at me today, or you should have never taken that
And
match.
also, my other favorite
But
Warpig,
the Legion thing was hilarious.
I'm gonna put Burns over because me and Blood were Burns and Cannon only had like 2 matches apiece.
Yeah.
I told him, you said, follow our lead, we're the veterans, and it was a
Well,
really good
there
match.
was a time that Burns and Cannon worked me and Adam Cole, and that was by far probably that's in one of my top 10. That's in top. It was actually here. It was here. It was in this school when we first moved into this school, and I was the EWA Maryland champion, and Adam Cole was the MCW Rage champion.
He had the cruiserweight title too.
Yeah, and he had the cruiserweight title here, and we did that match, and that was so fucking great. And here's the thing though, is with the Warpigs is so special. And like when I started this podcast, and I told Blood, I was like, when the podcast started, first one needs to be Warpigs. That our stories of being on the road, and that's what it was. I wouldn't have it any other way with doing this podcast because it grew, and you created Warpigs. And fortunately for me and Blood, we were the only guys that ever won the tag titles. We had matching gear. I went out. I paid. Actually, I'm gifting you
awesome gear.
my pants, and it was red and black pants with fur all over the place, with a pigtail sticking out of it. And that's the thing. Like we in SWO, there was a point where we traded the tag titles for the guys' robes. They were wearing robes. Yeah, they're ring jackets. They were like, we want your ring jackets, so we're gonna trade you the tag belts for your ring jackets because we really like those. And then we ended up beating them in that same match, and the crowd blew up like we won the titles again.
They're still the ring jackets.
Already the champions.
We're so happy we had the ring jackets.
Oh,
Who was that team name?
It was Molson, and who was the guy?
No, it
wearing
wasn't
the
Molson.
overalls? It was the guy wearing the overalls and somebody else.
Jethro Hicks.
Jethro Hicks. Jethro Hicks, and who the hell did he team?
The two guys with the fucking
The guy with the
makeup
face paint.
gimmick.
The guy with the face paint. He had short hair with face paint.
No.
They were in a tag team, and they split up.
No, because he's watching probably. Anyway, but they teamed a lot. They were friends. They weren't the black and red gear.
Yeah.
See, the one thing that I could never understand, because basically, I did like you guys did for maybe 3 years.
Back here, I've seen your back here.
Well, I did back
Bob in the plain white tights.
Oh, that's
No, he was in underwear. It was underwear. I've seen it.
What do you call it? But then when I first started, because independents weren't like it as that. There wasn't 800 of them. There was only 2 or 3, and you had to drive forever. And they were, everybody. It was a buddy system. Once Axel got in, and he pulled me in, pulled Wave in, pulled Sledgehammer McGill in, pulled whatever guys. But the thing of it is I grew up basically working for Vince because first time I went there I was 19. So you go there, the signs on the wall, no matching tights, this, that, and everything. You learn, like, I don't give a fuck. If I'm running an independent show and I come to you and say, listen, I want to put you two together as a team. This is the idea I have. And those guys don't go out and buy matching shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to be on those shows, and you see, the hard part with indie wrestling now as opposed to then, the littlest paycheck you got back when I started was $50. I mean, that was for the fucking dude just walking the door.
No, that's a huge man.
Nowadays.
You're like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, $50. You're like, oh, I don't get a hot dog as a payday. Like, what is this?
Here's the thing, though, is it's like they don't get. You don't have to have every fucking guy you know on the show.
No.
They don't have to do every fucking move they've ever learned.
Not every match is the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
We don't want a lot of people
The
chance.
thing is if there was only 5 matches, which is the way it used to be, 3 in the beginning, 2 in the end, then you could pay everybody.
Yeah.
But then, I gotta get my buddy in. I gotta get this one. I gotta get that one.
Like 30 people on
The
the show.
problem is they're not going. Is it going to help the show? Is it going to sell me tickets? And a lot of times it is going to sell me tickets. And that's the only fucking reason.
Make my buddy happy,
Right. But the thing of it is it's like you got everybody here, and almost everybody we ever trained. I mean, I'm not gonna say everybody because there was a couple turds. I mean, and I don't even blame them. I don't blame them for that because not everybody can do it. You know, you referee. You referee.
I refereed Doreen Neville. We remember Doreen Neville, aka Luke Gallows, over at the first school across over there. At, as a ref. Before
The thing of it is, it's like if you have a heart and you love this business, and it's the truth, then there's a spot for you somewhere.
Oh yeah.
But the thing of it is can your ego take the fact that you come in and think you're fucking Randy Savage and you're really worse than fucking Ahmed Johnson?
Well,
You're
I
brute
tell
force.
you, you can't reinvent the wheel. What made wrestling popular still works. What happened in the 80s happens today. It doesn't matter what you do in the ring. How did Danny Guzzle get his job? He don't have his own fucking punch. If you don't have his own fucking punch, guess what? You can go out and do 8 million things. When you're for the WWE or AEW, if you don't know how to throw a punch or a kick
That was-
or do a headlock, they're not going to fucking waste their time.
That was the best thing I got from Axel. Axel, well, he pretended to love me. Axel fucking hated me. But that was my fault. That was my fault because I was.
He hated me because I run the business.
What
Chill was it?
You're
You
right.
hid your boots.
I've told that
Yeah,
story.
we were my only show in North Carolina, I think. He hid my boots, and like right before I went out, he's like, "Oh, where did Blood's boots go? Where did Blood's boots go?" I'm like, "You motherfucker! I didn't fucking hit my boots." But yeah, but the best speech he ever gave was like, "If you can't punch, don't punch. You form him to the back, chop him.
Yeah.
If you can't punch, don't do that. It looks horrible."
But in that particular case, I know why he was saying it, because he was going out in front of the biggest crowd he probably ever worked with.
Yeah.
On the Maryland circuit, because at that time, North Carolina was a shit. That was the big show.
That and he told me not to go CZW. He
you
was high as shit.
See what they
The CZW, you got backdropped into a
And
shot,
almost lost your leg.
and you almost lost your leg.
But he was high and drunk and gone. I don't know how he was talking, but like he was like, I was just getting ready to go CZW with Ruckus, and he was like, John, don't do that, man. Don't do it. He's like showing me the scars. He's like, you see all the scars.
Yeah, he regretted getting pigeonholed as a hardcore.
Yeah, and like he's like, you're stuck with a hardcore guy, and you're doing the rest of your career.
And that's what we.
And it was good. It was good advice, but he also passed out in the middle of this conversation. Like he was like leaning over like this,
So much going on.
and he falls asleep.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we were waiting there for like 20 minutes, and we started poking him. Like, and he started talking again. Like he never stopped.
My other
Somebody was
favorite
driving the cab.
my other favorite thing with Axel, I mean, we told the story about him telling us how to run the business. But there was one show where he was mad about somebody throwing shitty forearms. He's like, he grabs the goat. Remember the goat? The smallest guy in the locker room. He goes, if you're gonna hit a motherfucker, you hit the motherfucker.
And he fucking
forearms goat as hard as he can in the chest.
And he killed him. I was like, goat's dead.
The goat's gone.
And here's the thing,
He put goat out the pasture.
we have about 15 minutes left, and then we'll be done with Warpigs.
We'll have whatever the fuck we want.
I got a jet, so you guys line this up with you guys. But
We'll start with Bob. Let's start with Bob.
I had to come.
Yeah.
Oh, you said you were leaving. I had to.
Bob's got to go. So what we're going to do is we're
We're
going
starting
to
with Bob.
a little bit on Bob.
Okay,
On Blood. So Bob, what are your memories of Blood over the last,
20 years?
20 years? Yeah. I mean, Blood started in 99, I've known Blood since then. He's one of my best friends. He was in my wedding. You know, what are your memories of Blood?
Well, Bob trained me. Took a long time.
Yeah, I mean, what I said earlier, I mean, it's like, nobody hears The Rock, you know what I mean? Nobody got to the point where you were where it was your livelihood. That's what you all wanted.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, and it doesn't even have to do always with talent. It could be gimmick, it could be
It's who you know.
I was in the mental hospital for
I got news for you. I've seen some sorry motherfuckers on WWE TV.
Oh shit.
I mean, and it's not their fault because everybody, the gimmick that you get or whatever you pick, and I think that was a problem back in the day, is that like they let the kids pick their shit, and it should have been the bookers picking it and like actually putting you to work in a job. But John's always, no matter what you ever fucking did, because you didn't do this crazy ass bullshit.
No.
Everybody
I do what I was told.
everybody wrestled and learned how to do the basics and stuff, and it was like, and that's what he decided to do. And
Except for Bull Bust and Bernie.
Axel,
Told me to put Bull Bust and Bernie. I would do Bull Bust and Bernie.
But they wanted me to be a job.
Axel is 100% right, because think about it. I'm sure you wake up every fucking morning and snap, crackle, pops. and it's kind of like if you wouldn't have did that shit, would you have got farther? Would you have done something different? Would you have got somewhere else? There's so many variables and stuff, but the bottom line, he's got heart, and that's why he's still around it. And I know you're just like me. I mean, you have friends outside of business. You have to from your job and stuff. I mean, I have the same things, but other than them, I don't talk to anybody outside of business because they don't understand what the fuck I'm saying. Like people look at you
Except for maybe us.
yeah.
Well, that's
I mean, you're not
because we can't talk wrestling terminology to people. That's
My
not-
wife knows wrestling terminology from us.
My mom knew everything.
I remember I was out somewhere, and I was talking to one of the boys, and I'm like, yeah, that motherfucker is really over it. And this lady's like looking at him. Yeah.
Over what? Yeah.
And that's the thing. They're like, what the fuck are they talking about? It's like, but the thing of it is, it's like, and that's a lost thing now.
Yeah.
The kids of today, everybody sitting here is a bunch of old motherfuckers.
You're the oldest.
I've been March will be 21 years.
I don't know where the fuck that little kid went. This fucking age group clueless.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he's a bad kid. I'm just saying fucking clueless. This ain't the video game age. You know, it's like I said something a long time ago, and I'll reiterate it, and I'll probably catch you for it. But I watched the Young Bucks one time in California. I forget who the promoter was. The big group that's out in California. They draw like crazy crowds.
PWG?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
might be
yeah.
it. But whatever the deal was, is they had fucking thumbtacks on the bottom of a shoe, and they super kicked some girl, and she turned her head at the last minute. And I said something about it. I'm like, you know, if that girl would have fucked up, I'm not saying they don't know what they're doing, but if that girl fucked up and turned the wrong way, then fucking that's what they're not. You know, Matt Hardy gave me shit, a couple other guys gave me shit. And I get it, and I actually gave them a chance to watch their shit. They do really cool shit when they were in Japan. I love them. Now, sort of, but you can just tell. Now, the bumps are adding up.
They're learning.
You can just tell they're getting older.
Yeah.
You know, they got kids, they got fucking, you know. But the problem is, from an outsider to look at them, they look like little kids.
Yeah.
Little kids with beards.
And like you said, get their shit in. Every match they gotta get all their shit in.
Well, them guys, in all honesty, if you work with them, but that's their gimmick. That is their gimmick. Like with Blood with the Fork.
They're
and
stuck
shit,
with that.
yeah. But and it's cool because you can do a million super kicks and not blow your back out. Hopefully, your knee.
But here's the thing.
But when you look at the young kids today, when you look at these shows, okay, look at it. They're kids.
Yeah.
That's why nobody
Yeah,
takes the shit seriously. You know, think about it. They don't take it seriously. Everybody's sitting here, even him, and he was probably the smallest one of everybody when they joined.
Stick boy, we still
Okay,
stick boy, yeah.
yeah, that's where you got your fucking nickname from. You were the time guy, but look at you now, and look at all of us.
Yeah.
They can say what they want about us, but we look like men.
Yeah.
When I got in the business, guys were 300 fucking pounds killing us.
As I said, I've gotten so much from the business. Like everything I have today is from the business. My wife, my house, everything. I met my wife through a fan who came to the show. You know, so everything I have today is podcasts, Happy Hour TV, my friendship with Blood, my friendship with Socrates, my friendship with Chris, my friendship with you know, John, everything. It's through this business. You know, and you know, with me, you know, Blood's my longest friend in this business. You know, I've worked more matches with him, seen more kids with him, everything. You know, and I said by
I don't know, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I would pick the tits.
Yeah, what's it first?
Here's
Yeah.
the thing, like I said, that the end of this will probably be kind of, you know, at some point this will be kind of sappy. But the whole point of this is, you know, Blood's leave, but my Halloween parties, you know, everything like that, it's now mine as well. Because Blood's in South Carolina. So, you know, the whole thing is traveling up and down the road, and whether we're sliding on the ice, coming back from Hagerstown, or we're like, why are there 20-car headlights in the fucking woods? You know, because we're sliding on the road or whatever. You know, the only tag titles I've had in my career were with Blood. You know, some of the funnest moments I've had in my career were with Blood. You know, and Socrates can contest, and you know, all that.
You said the person who went up down the road with the most. You mean it was?
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing, the three of us, and you know, Monster has been. I remember when we went to New Year's at Blood's house, and Monster was shooting fireworks out of his asshole. The fireworks were going off. You know,
Is there a bottle rocket in his ass?
Yeah, and there was times like my wife, like you know, Blood would come to the house and we would have parties, and she'd be like, Blood's groping me. And I'm like, well, at least he's not groping me. He's not groping me, so you're on your own. And I'm like, it's Blood.
He's a very affectionate man.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing. And I mean, I genuinely, Blood, fortunately enough, Blood's my longest friend in this business. You know, he was in my wedding. You know, I've been in both. You know, I've been a part of both his weddings. You know,
So notice how he started to stop there for a second.
Get yourself.
But the whole thing is, he's my longest friend. So, when I found out he was leaving, I'm just kind of like, like.
Now he's
like,
giving you a fucking
yeah,
excuse
yeah.
for make vacation.
Yeah. But he was funny. It's like,
He'll be in Myrtle Beach every fucking couple months now. Oh, I'm sorry, he's back, motherfucker. He's not moving here, Bull. He's not moving here.
Here's the thing. It's like, Blood, like, yes, he's going to South Carolina. I could still have him come in via Zoom on the podcast. Me and him can still talk. But it's the kind of thing that, if we want to hang out or, if it's the kind of thing, we have a Halloween party, as I said, we're -1. Because Blood would always come.
We go to the tea club in the middle of the night.
Yeah. I've been to more strip clubs with Blood than anybody else. I'll never forget leaving Blood. Blood was like, "You fucking leave me here and let me finish this beer." And I'm like, "All right, Blood, fine, we'll leave you here." It is what it is.
Blue Bob.
Yeah.
Bob Blue.
Bob Blue. Bob's like, "I'm not." But no, and I mean, like the rest of you guys, honestly, I love Blood. He's like a brother. I really do. And Monster, you've known Blood longer than I have.
Longer than anybody.
Actually, that was something I wanted to try to get the chance to touch on because, like, my time in the wrestling business has been cut short for different personal reasons, professional reasons, bullshit with the athletic commission. But on a side note, in my personal life, Blood's been there when I buried my dad, when I got married, when I was to help me get out of jail, and like wrestling in a backyard, starting at Brainbusters. What limited experience I've had has been through this man, and he's just been part of what I love about Blood is that he's got like that dad complex where like he wants to just fucking help everybody.
Yeah.
And like I remember some days at Brainbusters just him like pulling Stevie aside when he first started, just talking to him a little bit about different stuff. I remember we would all sit around, just talk shit about matches or whatever. Anyway, my point is, I'm gonna miss you, and it was like you said, it was just like I felt a little bit of like, I don't know, a little bit of anger, honestly. No, get the bottles away from him. For forks. But it's like a little bit of like selfish anger, like fuck, I'm not gonna see him.
That's kind of the way I was. And when I was upset, I told Jess, I was like, I don't see Blood much anymore. Like, Blood's growing up a lot. I've grown up a lot. Blood has his kid. Blood has kids. Blood has kids. Blood go hang out. It's like, hey, motherfucker, we're gonna go fucking do this. And it's like, that's the thing. And it's like, you're losing a friend. For someone that's been in my way, someone who literally 90% of my career, 90% they've been involved. Up and down the road, no matter what, we both started in 1999. The first guy I met when I signed up for the MEWS school.
Me and my sister joined the same day.
We had a little bit of time at Brainbusters before we looked, fucking Bone Breakers.
Only 1 week, yeah. 1 week.
No, it was a lot longer than that.
Was it?
So I remember hearing a lot of stories about Bone Breakers, jogging around the parking lot.
Oh no, Bird Breakers, yeah, but Brainbusters we started at the same time.
Yeah. I was getting the news.
Alright, cool. Fucking Bird Breakers.
It's good to see you.
Appreciate it.
Good to
Thank
see
you,
you,
Bob.
brother. Be safe. Guys, I'll see you. Yeah, have a safe trip. We'll still stay.
Oh yeah, I'll still be up here.
Yeah. And
We
what
just have to make
we're
sure
going to do,
we
we have about 3 minutes left, and this isn't including commercials, anything like that. We have about 3 minutes left. It's going to go a little bit over 2 hours, left with Blood. We're going to end the podcast.
Bob, you shit. I smell that.
We're going to end the podcast via audio in about the next 2 minutes. However, we will stay live on Facebook saying our memories of Blood and all that. So for those of you, make sure you always tune into our Facebook because this is actually going to be an exclusive because Awkward and Blood and Cypher Beast still haven't even had a chance to go yet. So for those of you listening at home, make sure you tune into our Facebook. Make sure you get a lot of exclusive content. For Blood and
I'll fucking come to you. I'll fucking stab you right in the fucking face, you dirty motherfucker. Fuck you. I'll stab you right in the fucking face of the floor.
So what I'm going to do is real quick. I'm going to go ahead and do our outro. And I thank everybody who came Chad Austin, Bob Starr. There were surprises for Blood. Blood still needs to drink a lot of this liquor. Well, a lot of these shots in the line. So next week we're going to be back with Nakia Baris. She was the Yellow Ranger in Power Ranger Zero and Power Ranger Circo.
The Asian?
No,
Asian.
So we will be back start next week.
So,
For everybody listening at home on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever it is you listen to your podcast, thank you for joining us for the Happy Hour podcast.
Thank you for joining
For
us.
those of you on Facebook Live, we are going to still keep
You'll stay with us however the fuck we feel like.
So, without further ado, what we're
Your
going to do
choice.
is we're all going to say thank you to Blood for all the memories he's given me. This podcast would not have started without Warpigs 1. I told Blood, this podcast will start without a road story.
Come right through this fucking
And that's
stupid
how it
hole.
started. So, ladies and
Well, I gotta say
gentlemen,
much.
well, we're going to do that on Facebook Live. So, ladies and
Sponsor.
gentlemen, once again, thank you to Blood. We appreciate you. We love you. And cheers to everybody. We will see you next week with Nakia Baris from Power Rangers. Over and out. We are going to continue on Facebook Live. Make sure you look it up at Facebook Live feed on our Facebook to continue seeing the footage. Thank you. We will see you next week. All right, for those of you still on Facebook Live, we are done with our actual audio version. We're going to go a little bit longer than we planned. We're going to
We're a lot longer. You can't stop us. How dare you? You're not in charge of us.
We have your attention.
Yeah,
But I'm going to leave you to pee.
so right now, this is a Facebook exclusive. Blood's going to
This is your show. How dare you?
No, right now, as
You
Chris
talk.
Burns-
This is your chance to talk shit about Blood.
Yeah. As
Well, I'm
Chris-
gonna be
as Chris Burns says how he feels about Blood, Blood's going to be pissed. Blood's like, oh, it's Burns. Let me go piss.
That's because he's spraying what I'm about to say.
I can't run in life.
You know, I heard that when Burns cuts a promo, people go to the bathroom.
Usually starts with, oh crap. Either that or, holy shoot, he talks.
You were a ring announcer. Well, we gotta get your thoughts on Blood then, I guess.
Yeah. We need Burns' thoughts on Blood. And then when he gives his thoughts on Blood, once Blood is back, I need to piss again because what happens, and everybody watching at home knows this, once you break the seal,
This stuff goes right through you.
yeah. Well, he's like, this stuff goes right through you, and he had a bottle of water. This water goes right through you. Oh, awkward. I would never know that water went right through you.
Plus,
I've had about 7 rolling rocks and a couple of shots.
Plus it's also 40 degrees in here.
So, here's what's going to
That
happen.
doesn't help, man.
Here's what's going to happen. Aqua's going to remove his pants.
Oh, wait,
We're going to explain to you. Yeah, we're still live. So Aqua's going to go and give you his stuff, and then Cyberdy's going to go. But real quick, I'm going to pee. So we're still live on Facebook Live.
I was a little worried. Like, you were walking towards me like, take your pants off.
Smell that bathroom from here. It's
I know.
Fireball.
That was Bob. That was Bob. I told you I was like, Bob, you shit? Yeah.
Wish you would have done some bong hits in there. Cover up that smell. Jesus.
Lord, Bob, you are a sticky bastard, Bob.
I'm glad I have no sense of smell.
You got the COVIDs?
No, when I was a kid, I had a sinus infection. So like my sense of smell was like 2%.
Oh, alright. Shit. Well, I mean, that's
Yeah,
fire.
We put the
fire
mask on.
story. Remember the flaming chair in WWF? So we had
They used to
Bob.
work when we were
Kerosene.
No, I remember rubbing alcohol.
Oh, rubbing on okay.
Yeah, because we took a folding chair, right? We racked a seat. You know how there's like the little indentation.
So you did the Terry Funk McFoley thing.
Yeah, except I remember that story. So we didn't use cloth or a towel or anything.
Yeah.
We used the tape itself.
Yeah.
And then I think we ended up.
We were trying to get the table on fire too, but yeah.
Yeah, we were
Same,
going to do
yeah.
that because like we had the fucking. I remember we
The
had
leg
the
wrap
claws
in
on
cloth
the
tape,
legs.
yeah.
Yeah. We were going to set that on fire.
I just wanted that.
All right, so
Wait, I don't know. You heard this fucking thing in the story. But I don't remember this shit. Hold on. The cloth?
The chair?
Yeah, the cloth tape on the chair?
Yeah, we didn't Remember?
Was this a backyard?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I remember the story about Mick Foley's thing about the towel flying off the flaming chair. So I was like, all right, we definitely don't want to do that because that was a backyard show. We had fans coming, which was kind of a rarity for us, but we were starting to get more. Anyway, so I was like, why don't we just use the tape? So like, if it like burns itself off, it'll still be stuck to the thing. Anyway, long story short, we covered the seat in athletic tape. We had a bottle of rubbing alcohol. We were going to set it on fire. He was supposed to give me a beal throw onto it. I was supposed to fucking bump and roll off, right? And then so we ended up doing it. I think.
I remember you were you bumped away from the chair, so then you rolled into the chair.
Yes.
He rolled into the fire.
Yeah, because I overshot it because of the angle. Yeah, and then it was the same match. Like 2 seconds later, I used a cigarette to try to burn his arm.
Oh yeah.
You motherfucker!
He helped my arm over the ropes, and he's like putting on like it hurt a lot more than I thought it was. And I was always like, ow, ow, stop it! That hurts.
The best part is that when you work blood, the reaction you had to something, you're like, ow! You would have laughed so bad. It's like you don't know if he's selling or if it's legit. And you just kind of like,
The monkey still.
So, alright. So what we need to do is real quick, we're so exclusively live on Facebook Live. Chris, you've known Blood for a long time. Now it's your time to
Probably at least amount of time compared to everyone else. Best memories I can remember.
Doing my girlfriend?
best memories are all the time that we would con him into getting him booked on trips when he was a rookie. And then we would make him drive us home drunk.
He's going to take me home.
Home awkward.
Sit down, you blocking view.
Yeah, you're blocking you.
Yeah. Awkward's a very important mega
That's all you brought.
I think I have a couple of memories. One of them was the "Take Me Home"
that will eliminate me forever.
That was
a scene by Socrates come to a stripper.
Yeah, that was mentioned on the first Warpigs 1.
Yes.
For those of you who don't remember that, we went to a show, went to Legs.
Yeah.
We got
We brought him on that show to come to the ladies.
brought me along so we can go to Legs.
So you hope safely.
And while there, they had the 25 cent or 50 cent drafts.
No, 25 cents.
25 cent drafts.
For 15 minutes.
For 15 minutes. So, Ray bought $5 worth.
No, 20.
20 bucks worth.
20.
Everybody was there with 20 bucks worth.
Cypher bought 20 bucks worth. I'm pretty sure I did too.
Yeah.
I wasn't drinking. So eventually we had like a table-sized beer mix. Little dinky solo cups.
Yeah.
Well, they're solo.
Regular tiny.
Regular tiny cups.
Plastic
Yeah,
cups.
but it was kind
But all full of beer.
But the stack, but the
Delicious
was about
golden
this
beer.
big, about this big, and so about that high.
What's your lips is so good.
So good, let's hit your lips.
Then from the time, then from the time we left Legs to about the time probably till we got back to Baltimore. Probably like every 5 minutes it was like, "Take me home, awkward."
What was I need to piss. I think I shit myself.
And even while driving,
He was also molesting Matty Pole a little bit.
yeah, and it was a couple of times he was like, "Hey, I need to piss," and I wouldn't even pulled over yet. Blood would have the car door open, trying to get out.
Yeah. Awkward, I need to piss. And we're like, wait, no, stop. Meanwhile, we're driving my car because what happened is, I'll never forget as long as I live. Blood sat there and he's like, does that Chris Burns guy know how to drive? I was like, yeah. He's like, all right, look.
It wasn't even Chris Burns, it was Uncle Dan.
He's like, look, we're going to take Awkward with us. We're going to get booked. And we're going to go to the bar and we're going to get fucked up. He's going to
Run drugs.
The most heartbreaking thing of our friendship was when there was one time we were like, hey, Awkward, we're gonna take you to a show. We're gonna get booked. Awkward was like, oh, it's all right. I'll drive on my own because he knew. Oh, he knew. And Plum was like, this motherfucker.
Was it SWO?
You learned by that.
No. What happened was I took the missus with me, so I went to pick her up because she lived on the way.
You got there like noon. Remember that? Just the show.
Because the missus was on the way to the show. So that's why I missed out on.
We forgot that we drank so much. We forgot about the fact that we did that to you for like 2 years. So you were already like kind of like a veteran in the business at that point, and we're like. Awkward. Yeah.
We can't do that to me.
I was like, I ain't fucking doing this no more.
No, it wasn't. I was picking her up.
Oh, see, we thought you smarted up by then.
What's going on? Yeah. It was all blood type. You know.
I didn't really care because one, I'm getting one.
He's getting booked.
I'm getting booked. Two, I'm hanging out with guys.
Yeah.
Because Pipe Bob's at least half the time in the business is hanging out with guys. I mean, yeah,
But good vagina is good.
But like, yeah, it's all well and good having this great match there, but of course having the party after that. And what we're doing after.
Yeah, how many kids you have now? Two.
Since we're getting behind the curtain, yes, I'm married now with kids. So sorry, ladies.
I'm married now. Blood's married with kids.
We're taken.
Yes, we're
I'm still beating the shit out of thoughts.
Yeah, since we're getting behind the curtain, yes, we're all married now, so pack your vaginas, go home.
This feel free.
This be
If you were
Now, monsters, you want to hit some monster dick.
It's possible.
I've seen it.
Now, what we need to do is we need to get us psych receipts. And then we will be wrapping up on Facebook. I think.
I do have a second.
Oh, one more story. Let's do a story.
Yeah, we can't.
How dare you?
This is like a porno.
Let him do his money shot.
Quality content. And the people listening at home are not getting.
You saved the main event for last.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
The second
Put me over.
The second story is get ready to do a show. Me, Blood, and Psycho were on our way to a rainbow show. It was winter. It was snowing. I think you know where this is going. Yes.
Oh. That one Rainbow Show.
Yes, it was. We were supposed to go to a
I
rainbow
thought
show.
an NBA show where we did the circle in the snow.
No.
Okay.
This was on our way to a rainbow show. I think we got to about Frederick. It had already been snowing. It started snowing when we left Baltimore.
Yeah. That's almost like when we left the polar bear plunge and it started snowing and they canceled the second plunge.
Yeah.
You fucking nerd.
Don't interrupt. How dare you? We got into Frederick. We saw one car lose control, end up hitting the Jersey, whatever.
Oh, what happened to there? And like, oh.
Then all of a sudden, we start spinning.
We still need to get through this show.
We did a 360. Blood compensates. We end up doing a 360 the other way. Blood compensates again. We end up doing another 360. It was.
Yeah, we did
But
three
it was
circles.
like some sort of overpass. But by the time we were done spinning, we were facing incoming
The right
traffic.
way.
No, we were looking at the opposite
Oh,
way.
yeah, that's right.
We had incoming. We were looking at
I
traffic
was like,
coming
we gotta do
on.
a Yui.
We had to do another Yui.
Yeah.
We ended up getting past Frederick. Then there was a traffic accident. We were stuck on this mountain for 2 hours straight. Needless to say, we missed the show. We hit the next exit, but we ended up going to class.
We went to the
That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
So we missed the show. We just turned around, went to Charlestown.
No,
Yeah.
it was the one over the casino.
Yeah.
Don't Lord.
The golden
Go nuts! Go nuts! All right. I went there once with
Back to the goal.
So I remember you. We went there and It's like, oh, you're from Baltimore?
Oh yeah, I was gonna dance with some
Yeah.
bitch. And she's like, so you guys from around here? I was like, no, we're just here for a wrestling show from Baltimore. She's like, oh, Baltimore, you got any heroin?
Yes, I do.
I was like, no, my friend Axel's not with us.
All right, so we need to get the Socrates, and then we need to wrap up the Facebook Live because, yeah.
Okay. Oh man.
Why? There's no time to look at live.
You should probably eat something.
I kind of mentioned it, but I mean, I met Blood when we were teenagers. And we're fucking 40 now. And, you know, of all the guys I've been in the ring with.
Way to make Blood feel old. Like,
you're older than me. Of all the guys I've been in the ring with, you know, wrestling together, of his opponents, tagging the Warpigs, reffing his matches, managing them, managing against them. I've probably spent more time in the ring on shows with Blood than anybody.
same way with
And
me.
traveling.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I said, probably three or four of my top 5 favorite matches were all with Blood.
Yeah.
And here's another thing I'll say about, he's just such a great guy. It's a testament to his character. Blood is probably the only person that I've been close friends with and never had heat with. I've had heat at some point or other with just about everybody. But honestly, I don't think me and Blood have ever said like a bad word to each other.
I've heard a lot of people, but I've never.
Here's the thing, like, Blood would have heat with you if you didn't drink the right amount of beer. Like, Blood would headbutt you in the bar. If Blood drank more than you and you weren't keeping up with him, he'd headbutt you in the bar. Like, that's just what it would be. It was not personal. It was just, you motherfucker.
It's your fault. It's not my fault.
Yeah, for real, like you said, Ray, you
Yeah.
get a little sentimental at the end. You said you were upset when you found he was really. Yeah. You know, I'll fucking go on record and say it. Like, some of my favorite memories just in life having fun, a lot of them are with Blood. And he's the fucking man. And you can't really put that
hell motherfucking you.
And he's also one of the main reasons that I have trouble getting out of bed every day.
I have scars and bruises on my body that are from blood that will hurt forever until the day I pass. Will hurt from blood.
I took a glass in my ass. I glass. It's still my butt for 30 days.
Blood has a scar every time he
When
goes to
Blood-
the scar.
when Blood-
He thinks of me.
When Blood, like 30, 40 years ago, when Blood's on his deathbed, he's gonna just feel his ass and like 17 years old.
Fucking glass.
Wonderful.
God damn you, fucking DJ and secretary.
Yeah. So for
But
those
that's still your death match, I will say. You know what? Blood's gonna agree with me. Honestly, that was one of the most brutal wrestling matches I've ever. Not only one of the most brutal matches I've ever seen. But just watching it back.
And they kept trying to take us to home. We're like, no. It was like literally a 45-minute match.
no.
You know what? Me and DJ actually just watched that match recently because he wanted to borrow the video. And I mean, I've known him since we were 7 years old. And that match, I'll remember till the day I die. I'm proud. One of my most proudest moments in life is surviving that match.
One of my most proudest moments in life is surviving any match with blood. And that's even with him as a partner. Because you don't know what's going to happen. He's going to start throwing chairs and shit, and one clips you, and you're like, oh, god damn it! Why? So, no, but anyways, for everybody watching at home, we're going to go ahead and wrap up our live feed. Thank you for joining us for Warpigs 4. You know, we all love blood.
Down.
You will see him. You will see him on the Happy Hour podcast. However, as I said, we could not do this. We had special guests. He didn't know Monster was going to come up. He didn't know Monster was going to come up. He didn't know Chad was going to come up. So, you know, Monster was just kind of like, hey, we're doing the podcast. You created the Warpigs. You need to come up. So
He picked up the ball and he ran with it.
yeah, you know, and I mean that's the thing. You know, none of us would have been Warpigs without Johnny Monster. You know, and Warpigs 4. This is the conclusion. There's not going to be any more Warpig series throughout the Happy Hour podcast because unless Blood's here live. yes. So, but maybe there will be a day where the 4 of us get together and do Warpigs 5.
There we go.
We don't know when that'll be, but. You know, thank you for joining us live on Facebook Live. We've already, you know, wrapped up, you know, the show on the audio version. So, you know, we ran a little bit over 2 hours of what we thought we would be. But we need to get cleaned up because.
What are you going to do about it, huh? You fucking stop us.
So we're going to go get something to eat, and then, you know, we're going to do a very special gauntlet. You know, it's the Farewell to Blood. And, you know, thank you for joining us on Facebook Live. And, you know, we will see you guys next week.
See ya.
Oh.
time.